Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another broadcast of the American Ricci Mahjong League. It's Sunday night, and there is a ton of action going on in the league. It is a B2 matchup to start us off tonight. Kevin, Charlie, Josh, and Isabella will be battling it out in B2. It looks like Kevin will be the first dealer, Charlie to the right, Josh across the table, and Ichigo, Isabella on the left. We had a very interesting set of games in the first couple. In the second game, Isabella winning a Suanko, and Dutch with an incredible comeback. Kevin pulled off a first place victory after a long, hard fought effort. We'll see how things fare in this series. Currently, Kevin, starting off as dealer, has the ability to accept a door into the hand. All the shapes needed for Ricci. Really looking for a 3-pin badly, though. And unfortunately, we can't open this hand. There's no Yaku just yet. Across the way, we see Josh with a very exciting Honitsu or Chinitsu brewing over there in the Dora suit. On the right, that is Dion Shantan looking for Ricci. Maybe Ricci. No door acceptance, no Tanyao there. Yeah, it's gotta be Ricci Nomi most likely. Very difficult to switch that to Pinfu. On the left, well, we do have a Ricci. Isabella gets there first with a 3-sided weight. Ricci Nomi, but 369 Mon is quite strong. Unfortunately, all those 9 Mon being locked away in the hand to the right, but it doesn't mean this hand can't win. Still a decent number in the wall, and Dutch will get Tempai as well. Oh, that's not Tempai, it's Ishan 10 after he threw away the 1-2 pin, and will continue to fight, though, from a reasonable position as dealer. Here's a door. You'd love to call it, but going for that. Maybe a Todd down play. Maybe just playing for K10 here, an early K10 call. But the Pinzu are safe. 5-pin will pass twice. And if you pair before, so you are going to be able to have a Tempai that you can carry into Ryukyoku. Josh kind of dancing around as well. Still fighting for the hand, not giving up just yet. Does draw the deal in 6 Mon, though, and holds it for the time being. Looks like Kevin wants out of this hand as well. And so, really just a matter of, will Josh make enough progress that he'll consider fighting? How about the Haku? No, goes with the 6 Mon. And Isabella had momentarily disconnected. I wonder if he's back in time. Yes, does take the roll. Ricci Ura for 2,600. Nice little way to start the game, and Isabella will be in first place, moving into East 2, Charlie's dealership. Charlie opens up to, that's a little exciting, having the Haku pair as well as the Pei pair as well, with 2 honor pairs. You can consider forcing a Honitsu. And in fact, we'll just open up on the North Wind right away. Haku immediately follows, and Charlie's just going for it. In fact, not even holding the 3-5 so block, just sees the Honitsu and says, this is my path to some value. There is also a world where you could shift to Toy Toy in the future, but that world is not here just yet. On the right, looks like that hand will have to be a Ricci. Maybe you could work towards Itsu and the Pinzu, but that's a long ways away. Across the way, Isabella already anchored up the East Wind, and Shanten with Jiankan and a Diamond to fill. Pretty strong, however, no door in that hand. Dutch had a Dora, but gave it up, feeling like it was going to be hard to build off of it. There might be a Chanta in store for him. In the meantime, Charlie opens up a 3rd time with the 2 Mon call. Technically, Ishanten, if you could find the 7 Mon or the 4 Mon. And Kevin feels like he needs to speed up this hand. Opens up Atosuke, but actually goes ahead and drops the pin tiles, maybe realizing that I actually don't want to drop these Monzu against what's showing on my right. And so we'll, of course, look for the Chun and try to find another way into Tempai. Isabella's still sitting Ishanten. There's the 7. We have Tempai in the 4 Mon. And Chun still nowhere to be found. How many of the 4 Mon are left at the wall? I'm seeing 2 of them. Ooh, another Montel that cannot afford to drop that. We'll just be dancing around here. Josh, in the meantime, I mean, kind of building, but again, no one wants to touch the Monzu here. There's the Chun. Ishanten for Kevin on the left. But to play for Tempai, we will have to push a Mon tile. In the meantime, Isabella does get Tempai as well. Just on the 4-pin. Dama here, not willing to take the Ricci. Charlie, in the meantime, switches to the 6-9 weight. And yeah, Kevin senses danger, does not want to drop any Monzu. Not after Overflow with the 4-mon coming out. Josh on the right-hand side almost has Saranko, but still no safe entry into Tempai. And that is Tempai for Ipeco, but do you push a 2-mon or 5-mon? I'm not sure that I would be willing to. Josh says yes. Maybe considering that he's at plus 80 in the standings and wants to get over into the promotion zone. Charlie draws the 4-mon, unlucky. Who would have thought that the Tonki was better than the Nobiton shape? But there it is, there's a 9-mon, never punished. Good weights and mathematics wins in the end. Charlie will pick up 7,800 total, 26 from all, and carry on as dealer here in East 2 repeat 1. Charlie, nice high pie, 2 Dora, Diaben shapes everywhere. Could be Tanyao if you can open on the 6-pin. Everything looks great here for Charlie to have an amazing hand. On the right, Josh, not so bad either. That is, what, 2 away from Tempai with Manzu blocks everywhere. Even 4, 5, 6 Sancho is possible. Across the way, Isabella Haku pair. Dora accepting 1 pin. That will probably leave the hand soon. And Ipeco chance to lower Manzu. On the left, those shapes are average, but there's a Dora. And that Anko, or the Haku pair has already turned into an Anko. And in the meantime, Kevin pulls in the 3-mon fill, so those shapes are improving dramatically. And will they be able to catch the dealer's hype pie, who hasn't managed to make really any progress here? Although, as I say that, the 5-mon is drawn. And what choice do you make here? A 3-pin is you could make an argument for 3-pin to just confirm the Dora, but 7 so is okay too. In fact, Charlie here with an overabundance of shapes will probably slim down this lower so shape, the 2-5. Maybe cutting a 2 so, and then just have 3 Diablo shapes. And the interesting question is, if Kevin ever discards a 6-pin, will we see Charlie choose to open, or really anything else, even the 6 so? It doesn't look like Kevin will opt to do that, as he has perhaps Itsu on his mind. But hang on a second, that's a that's a Tempai Nobiton shape. 2-pin, 5-pin, where 2-pin would be Ricci Dora 2. And this weight is not very alive in the wall, only 1 of each, but still, early Ricci like this puts a lot of pressure. Dealer, though, might just decide to fight here. You could try the 2 so and anticipate fighting with a 3-pin. I mean, it looks really difficult to throw a Dora adjacent tile against a Ricci, but Charlie certainly has the value worth fighting for. 3-mon does not feel good either. So Charlie will opt for the 8-pin instead. And wow, it's Josh who's going to fight here. Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya with either Ipeco or Sanchoku will get extra value one way or another. The 4-mon would actually be more valuable than the Ipeco. Sanchoku worth 2 Han. And this weight is slightly better, but the Dora is drawn instead, and Josh is going to deal in. Ricci Dora 2 would be 5,200 minimum, unless we see an Uda that's missed. Classic. Uda missed from DRM player. It is the DRM way. But that puts Kevin into a pretty good position here, moving into East 3, in second place at over 30,000, and with a very interesting high pie, but we'll get there in a second. Josh, our new dealer, has a 2 so Dora and okay shapes. You can work around that lower mon shape pretty well. We do need to draw a door connector. Or how about pair the Dora right up? And now this looks like it just wants to be Tanyao. Tanyao Dora 2 or 3. On the right, we've got good shapes for a Pinfu potential. Richi, Pinfu. I would like to end up cutting this penchant eventually, but if we draw a 7, so we're just very happy. Across the way, the aforementioned Kevin hand, Haku, Hatsu, Chun. Lots of Sotaos. This is one of those hands that makes you lean towards Honitsu. But it turns out that Charlie on the left has a very similar hand, just with fewer honor tiles. And in fact, drawing more Sozu. So we might have dueling Honitsus in the Dora suit. However, it's Josh with the Dora opening up the ideal 4-mon call. And 2 away from Tenpai here, looking for Pinzu. And Charlie is dropping Pinzu. Interesting move by Kevin here, cutting the 7-so and presumably the 8-so to follow. I wonder if this is some type of Tsuiso hedge. Just going for Yakuman. Although we can't see it in the standings, Kevin is on the lower side, and so maybe a desperation play here. However, Josh will get to Tenpai. Waiting for pin 2-so. Of course, 2-so will be in the Dora. Oh, the 4-pin's will come out from Charlie, and that will deal in Tanya Dora 2's 5,800, and Josh will move back towards the rest of the pack. In fact, that puts Dutch in first place after Charlie pays out close to 6,000. Still a relatively close game, all things said and done, as we've had a few deal-ins. But Josh, as dealer, will repeat another hand that looks like it kind of wants to be So Honitsu, but these So shapes are rather awkward. And, well, the 7-so really helps that. Josh isn't going to commit here, though, not going to force something, and maybe he can walk his way into Chinitsu in the future, depending on the draws. And wow, that's another draw. Okay, we have to start seriously considering Chuden at this point. It's just 3 tiles away from Chuden. Tenpai needs a 1-so, 1-so, and a 5-so, 6-so. And just looking around the board, there are tiles live in the wall for Chuden. We definitely want to keep that in mind. On the right, Isabella has a Haku pair. Not the best shapes, but she can try to call us down for Hakudora 1. Across the way, Kevin working towards maybe Richi Pinfu if you can fill in a 3-mon. A 1-2-3 Sanchoku is a possibility that he's definitely keeping in mind. On the left, we do have the pay call into Tenpai, waiting 6-9 so. Josh. Oh, Kevin's going to get there first. Is not planning to use an upper so shape, and that will deal into a very cheap 1,000 plus Homba. That will put Charlie back into first place and set us into East 4. Oh, I was really dreaming about that shootout. I don't think we've had one yet in the league. Would have been a great opportunity to see our first one. Okay, we have Isabella now. Dealer in East 4, first chance at the dealer seat. There are 3 pairs in hand, 2 Dora. Really hoping to pair up one of these Yakuhai. I might even... Well, I don't know if I want to give up on Chitoi so easily, but who wants Chitoi? Maybe just throw the 1-so over. Oh, not when we have 4 pairs. Oh, this is such a tough hand to play as dealer. We'll just play it simple. Terminals and honors first, and see what sticks. Pulling in the double east would be a huge boon to this hand. On the right, there might be a... I was going to say Junchan, but that's a lot of 7s. In fact, this might be 7-mon cut in the future. Across the way, we have maybe Honitsu in the Manzu with the Haku pair. Holding the 4-6 pin just in case the door is drawn. That can be accepted into the hand. And on the left, we've got Josh with a standard Pinfu type hand. Drawing this 2-pin is helpful, completes a shape, but it does limit your 4-5-6 object possibilities. And because there's a thought about Itsu, I wonder if he'll consider cutting the 4-6 mon. Normally, you do cut the 1-2 so and just play for the wider acceptance in the Manzu. After all, the 1-2 so does overlap with the 4-5 shape. And if you cut the 6 pin, that's not such a big backfire if you draw the 5 pin. But you'd prefer to just be able to draw the 5 pin and use it as a 4-5-6 shape. And still keep the Sancho Dream alive. In the meantime, Isabella getting closer to Tenpai Dianchantan here. Kevin will open up with potential again, Junchan or Chanta. And Charlie has committed to the Honitsu across the way. Should be Ishanten? Yeah, not Tenpai just yet. Really looking for the Haku. Unfortunately, Kevin has a pair of those now. Oh, but this 3-mon will be Tenpai. And looks like we are on Shabo. Kevin also Tenpai on with the 2-pin for Chantandomi. There's only one of those tiles left in the wall. Depending on Isabella's draw for Tenpai, she might need to discard the 2-pin. Specifically if she draws a 3. Oh, this is Dora, and Kevin will have a tough time using it unless he makes a big shift to Honitsu, which is a little too far off. So out goes the Dora. Will we see a home? Isabella does call it. It's the shift to Tanya, although it is potentially Furiten. So we'll see how the situation resolves itself. She really needs a force, so Josh might have an extra force, so depending on how things shake out. One of the things Charlie's going to be considering across the way is how to get Itsu out of this hand. And of course, if he draws the 6-mon, he can drop the 3-mon and have the same shape as previously, but with Itsu. He could even have Chi'd that 6-mon and cut the 2-mon, or a 1-4-mon wait with Itsu confirmed. But really just hoping for the Haku to come out. We are going to see a call into Tenpai from Josh, waiting on the 6, so looks like Isabella is not going to get there, has one more draw to avoid dealing in. Will she find something safe? Yes. 8 so just passed recently. So it'll be 3 players Tenpai, Josh, Charlie, Kevin picking up 1,000 apiece. And it will send us into the South rounds. Kevin returns to the dealer seat in 2nd place. Haipai is quite reasonable here for a Pintu or a Tanyao. Towards the west, we see a pair on the right. Charlie could just aim for Richidora to end up on a Shabo, perhaps. Unless we can draw an Akko. Oh, another pair. That's a little awkward. Might have to end up dropping one of these pairs in the future. Across the way, Josh has the South Anko and a Dora in hand. Might end up with a Dora Tonki in the future. Depending on how the hand develops, of course. And wow, just pair up the Dora. So mochi situation between Josh and Charlie. However, Josh with an advantage in the sense that he already has a Yaku and could just open up for anything that he wants. Isabella on the left. Standard Richi hand. Would love the 3-so so that can turn into pink as well. Maybe there's an Ipeko in the upper Manzu. And this is an interesting choice, but the 5-6-6-7 Nakabukure shape is quite strong. You can consider cutting the 1-2-so to hold it, or just hold your Ishanten as it stands right now, although it's, well, it gets there. 2-pin drawn, and that's going to be a Richi waiting on the Sanzo. Will Kevin deal in? He just tossed the 2-so. And there is some incentive to fight as dealer in your last dealer seat. But at the same time, it's a 4th place Richi. You don't really want to fight against that. It looks like Kevin has decided that it's too difficult to defend with the current amount of information, so he's going to make a play for it. And that likely means dealing in on this 3-so, as he has found Ishanten. And now it's efficient to cut the 3-so. It goes with a 5 instead, which is relatively safe, given the number of 3-mon and 6-mon that. And wow, Isabella finds the Tsumo on one of the 2 remaining Sanzo. No Ura, but that's a notable win for her as she climbs closer to 30,000 and in 3rd place. And Kevin will look at that 3-so and say, well, thank goodness I didn't drop it. I was about to. That will send us into Charlie's dealership. Once again, 1, 2, 3 Sanchoku is available. Maybe Itsu in the Pinzu. Not a bad hype buy. It's just unclear if we're actually going to get Sanchoku or Itsu here. It's because we have the 4 or 5 Mon already. It's somewhat efficient to cut the 1, 2 Mon, and that would give up on the Sanchoku. So we'll just have to wait and see how this hand develops. On the right, we've got Josh, who is looking pretty strong as well. This Itsu is maybe in the Manzu, and there's no door just yet, but already 3 completed shapes is a decent start. Well above decent, well above average, I should say. Isabella, a ton of diamond shapes. This looks like a perfect Ricci Pinfu hand, maybe even Tanyo and Dora as well in the future. And for Kevin on the left, there are 2 completed shapes technically. Not so bad. Not as good as some of these other hands, but it's workable for sure. We'll just see how the draws come into play. This 3-so pair up means we can cut the 4-pin and aim for Itsu. Now Charlie has other ideas. This is a Tanyo instead. Certainly more callable to go this route. And one of the things you can do there is just cut the 2-so and hedge both possibilities. Now that way, if you draw the 9-pin, you have Itsu confirmed. If you draw the 3-pin, you have a 3-sided Ricci Pinfu with potential Itsu as well. But the benefit of holding the 2-so is that you can get this draw. This is a super wide Ishanten dropping the 2-pin. This is also pretty wide dropping the 3-so. And perhaps Charlie saw the potential Furiten having discarded the 5-so previously and decided that, you know what, I'll take the somewhat wide Ishanten that doesn't have a chance to put me in Furiten here. And this is quite strong for Charlie. Ishanten on the right, though. Isabella has drawn the door, and wow, we're going to get 3-sided weight anyway. All right, smash that button. Ricci Pinfu, potential Tanya waiting 369 Mon. Oh, but Josh is going to chase, having drawn the 9 Mon himself for Ricci Itsu, waiting for the 7 Mon. There are 2 7 Mon in the wall, and presumably a lot more 369, although we can see a lot of those are actually being held. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and now 11. So only 1 tile left in the wall for this 3-sided weight. However, Dutchman has called open. Kevin will have to discard the 9 Mon if he gets Tempai, if he chooses to fight. It's difficult to defend against 2 Riccis. Isabella gets Tempai's switches to the 4-so, and will deal into 5,800 as the Ura was missed. And so that means we have a tie for 3rd and 4th place, and Charlie has made it over 40,000 points in South 2 Repeat 1. Charlie with a reasonable hype buy here. 3 pairs is a little awkward, but we don't need to view these all as pairs. The 8-8-9 shape can easily be fixed with a 7 Mon draw, and the 4-4 pair can be thought of as just a single 4 Mon that's just waiting for a 3 or a 5 Mon to make a Diapin shape. And the fact that you have 2 of them just means that, well, you can draw an Anko for, so you can think of that as like a floater with Anko draws. And speaking of Ankos, there's a 9 Mon. That's a pretty big pull for Charlie, who now can work with a hand that only has 2 pairs. That's a much nicer place to be. On the right, Josh has 5-so Dora and reasonable Pinfu shapes. Across the way, another Dora. That is for Isabella. And again, a hand that wants to be Ricci Dora 1 with potential Pinfu. To the left, Dutch has already Ishan 10 with 4, 5, 6 Sanchoku chance, and can even accept another Dora here. I suspect if we draw 5-so, we're going to cut Chun Chun and get Tanyo as well for monster value. One Chun has left Charlie's hand already. Oh, we're going to get there. This is Tempai. Can choose the 7-so or the Shabo 8-so Chun. I like the Shabo here. Let's see what Dutch chooses to do. Likes the Shabo too. Oh, there's the Chun. Will it come out? There's Manzu that are safe. Oh, it does! It's going to be Patsurichi Patsanchoku Dora 1, and with Ura chances here. Oh, misses. Already had Hanuman, was looking for the Baiman with a couple shots at Ura 2 or Ura 3. But it is a pretty huge hit there for Kevin, who jumps into the lead, 44,000 points, and leaves the rest of the players below 30,000 moving into South 3, which is quite notable. If Dutch is the only player over 30,000, would earn an extra 5 points of UMA for that achievement. Josh, now the dealer. I like the high pie. There's a chance at a Peiko in the Monzu, but you need 2 4s or 2 7s, and all the 4s are in Charlie's hand as well as one of the 7s. So actually, Josh is going to have a really tough time getting this hand to come together. In the meantime, though, Isabella has the South call already. That's double South with 2 door in hand. That's looking to be a Mangan, and she is Ishanten for that hand. Across the way, Dutchman is 2 away from Tempai with a couple diamond shapes and a Kanchan. However, that Kanchan is looking for the 4-pin, and again, we can see where those are. We'll see if Charlie ends up committing to Shinichi, as it kind of looks like the direction he's leaning. Not holding up for Honitsu, though. At least not with that east draw. And Kevin drops the 3-5 shape, so he's actually Ishanten now for Ricci, Pinfu, Dora, potential. I guess Sancho's gonna be a little bit hard unless we draw the 8-so first. Now slightly wider Ishanten, and presumably Charlie will open up with the 4-6 here. Thinking about it. Yeah, wants to hold the extra shape, the 7-8 shape, and if he finds the 8-pin, he'll be Tempai on the 1-pin. But Kevin will get to Tempai first, discarding the 7-pin. Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1, waiting 3-6 so. We see a lot of those being held, only 2 left in the wall, 1 of each tile. And for Isabella, how will she choose to fight against this? Drops the 3. That is Genbutsu. So she's still Ishanten here. The 4-mon is kind of dangerous, though. But if she gets Mangan Tempai, I imagine she'll just push it. And it will pass. This is a call into Tempai. She'll take it. 2-5-so is her weight. 2-5-so. All the 5s are gone, but there are 3 2s. So 3 versus 2 in Isabella's favor. What's going to be drawn first? Charlie has a 5-so that if he pushes his hand, will have a tough time avoiding the deal-in. However, he's bailing away here. Goes with the 7-pin instead. And now it's Josh's turn to think about calling. Could have called for Tempai, in fact, waiting on the 4-7. But decides against it. 8-mon. Just pushes Sumo. And Sumo instead. Kevin will get there. Reaching Sumo, Pinfu, Dora. Uda would be Mangan, and he hits. Wow. That is not the DRM way. We're only supposed to get Uda when it doesn't matter. But that will increase the value of the hand by 2,800 points. And Kevin will take a monster lead, 52,800 points, going into all last, where Isabella finds herself in 3rd place in the dealer seat. The 1-2 and 4-5-so can accept Dora twice. Outside of that, it's going to be a hard battle to make any other shapes out of this. I'm just going to play standard cuts here, terminals and honors, and hope to connect to some of these floating tiles. For Kevin on the right, he's just aiming to score as many points as possible in this final hand of the game. Might just end up being Chun only or Chun Dora 1. If it ever leaves someone's hand. Across the way, Charlie looking like it might be a Honitsu here, with South being Yakuhai as well. Wow, this is Ishanten already. Could Ricci this? Would be a monster hand for Charlie with 2 Dora, and opens up. It's a 2-5-so wait for Honitsu. Nan Dora 2. It's a Mangan right now. So not a useful tile. 2-so might deal in, though. How many tiles are left for this wait? All the 2-so being held or in the wall? In the dead wall, I should say. And the 5-so only has 1 left, but Kevin draws the Dora, and that saves him from dealing in here, as he is Ishanten for Ricci Dora 1. Potential Chun as well. Charlie looking to upgrade the shape. Even could potentially upgrade the value with say, a 6-mon into Dora draw. 6-so into Dora draw, I should say. Oh no, I cursed Alexi into actually drawing the 6-mon. Kevin will open up Atosuke, waiting for the Chun. Notably, Josh not opening up on the Hatsu here says that's not enough value for me. And there's the tune. It will come out.
Dong.
Kevin will shut down the game with 2,000 points. There was a door in hand. And that will confirm first place, a big first place, plus 44.8 for Kevin. Charlie will take the second place, negative 3.8. Isabella third, negative 13.5. And Josh in fourth place with negative 27.5. We will get those standings updated, and there's been a little bit of a glitch with the score sheet, so it's not showing up very well here. But we can go to the full screen standings and maybe get a better view of what's going on in B2. Overall, looks like Josh in 12th place dips away from that promotion zone with one game to play. He needs to aim for about 100 points to try to get there. We'll probably need a little bit more because there's a couple players who are pretty close to catching up. Isabella in 19th place at negative 54.5, currently safe from the demotion zone. And the other two players are a little bit lower. Let's see if I can scroll. Charlie in the demotion zone, Kevin as well, trying to battle out. Oh, I guess it's showing full set of games for Kevin, which means he's probably in that one group that had one of the games double counted. It looks like they have one more to play. One other game has finished in B1. Eric taking a big first place. Eric D, plus 48.8. Wow, there were so many Mongons in that game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 12 hands were Mongon plus. Brian takes a negative 1.6 second. Tucker, negative 16.8 third. And Edwin, a negative 30.4 fourth place. We're still awaiting the start of the next game. Oh, I'm seeing it pop up. And perhaps this B2 table is taking a second to try to figure out why the score is appearing the way it is. So they are either completely finished or they're on a break. In the meantime, the B1 game has started up. So perhaps we will switch there in, well, looks like we'll have a 5-minute break before that one starts. And so we'll go ahead and take a break. Give me a chance to fix the standings on the side. See if we can get that glitch repaired. And looks like in 4 minutes, we'll have the start of that second game in B1-4. See you in a few. All right, welcome back, everybody. And I've got some backup commentary for us. Michael, why don't you go ahead and take a look at these high five because I have to change a few names. We're going to get this B1 game started. It looks like
Sure,
Tucker's the
sure.
first
Yeah.
dealer.
So, for Tucker here, we have the Hatsu pair, but otherwise not so remarkable. May just want to call with this hand for a cheap 1,500 points. Edwin on the right has has a strong shape in Mon and the 5/6 in So. Otherwise, actually may look to call that non there, the south, and I'm not sure what will happen with the pay Dora. I guess we'll have to see. Across, um, a hand with a pair of Haku and a bunch of Kanchans. Well, that draw helps a little bit, but then on the left for Brian, the other two Haku, so those probably aren't going anywhere for either player. And then a bunch of pin tiles. This could end up a Honitsu. It looks like with those discards from Brian, that is the way he is taking the hand.
Yeah, it seems that way. It's ooh, one pin draw, especially because the north is the Dora. It feels like Brian will definitely move that direction if that gets paired up. And we'll see how aggressively he chooses to call for other components of this hand. For example, 5-pin pawn would move him forward. Tucker looking for the Hatsu really badly. It will make Tucker's life so much easier if they can start calling. Although,
It would, though. Edwin right now is kind of hoarding these extra honors for safety.
this is a classic Edwin play. Uh, we've got 4 blocks and multiple safe tiles. We'll find a fifth later. It looks like
I
the plan is
I
probably
do
going to
not play this way.
be. I
I
think
don't.
there, like you've got 4, 5, 6 so 4, 6 mon, 4, 5, 6 pin, south pair, and then the paid Dora. That's probably the fifth block in the hand. So the Hatsu and the Chun are your relatively safe tiles, but the Chun is more safe than the Hatsu, which is apparent because Tucker managed to draw into Tempai here and get this Shabo waiting on the Hatsu.
Yeah, with this kind of screwy, like, middle shape Shabo here. The 7 is clearly not the target tile.
Right.
I'm quite sure Tucker realizes that the 7 is probably in hand.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing Tucker says, well, it's on the left, so. Oh no, Brian got to Tempai on the pay after the dealer discarded it, and Hatsu comes out first. There was a notable sequence there when Tucker discarded the 5-pin. Edwin probably would have cheated that for Ishan 10, and instead Brian called pull and prevented that from happening. Edwin found the cheaper hand to deal into for sure because that was a
Yes.
Mungot on the left.
The the horde of honor tiles actually was not as safe as
As you'd
maybe.
expect, right?
Yes,
Normally those
right.
should be very safe, but perhaps this table is aware of the play style for Edwin and is trying to take advantage of it. We'll see. I think in this particular instance, it just kind of worked out the way that the Honitsu hand had honor tiles and Tucker had the Hatsu that just never came out. And otherwise, I'm sure they would have opened up on it for what would have been a much cheaper hand. Still, picking up 3,900 is a good start for Tucker here in East 1, Repeat 1.
Yeah, here Tucker has this uncompleted Ipeco shape, but also is headless, so that shape will probably end up resolving into a pair somewhere.
That's a great shape if you're looking for a head. I mean, if you draw the 7 mon, you're happy because you have Ipeco, but this is the much more likely result. You draw now 5,
Right.
6, 7. You can use the 8 mon as the pair, and even if you've drawn the 6, 9 mon, that would have
Hmm.
resulted in a pair of the 6 mon instead. So Ishan 10 for Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 1 for Tucker here, and I don't even know if we need to look at the other hands because it feels like this one should get there first.
Edwin does have two Dora, but right now isn't that close to cashing that out. That like that hand, this is at least 3 Shanten. So the most obvious route for that is to pawn this for Tanyo, and there it is.
Oh, well, we're going to see a Ricci. Somehow Eric got to Tempai. It is Ricci Nomi currently, but the Haku would give it an extra Han.
Yeah, that one snuck up on me.
And this is the advantage of Edwin's style of play. Has all these honor tiles to play around with and can still fight for his hand depending on what gets
That's
drawn.
Tempai for
Uh,
Tucker.
it's
But both of these tiles
it's such
I
good
mean, I think
value.
you have to. You're just deciding which tile looks worse.
Probably this. Okay, it goes with the door indicator. We'll see equal
I
to broken.
Oh, okay. So previously said, okay, well, I have some norths here. Those are probably oh, now okay, I was going to say now withdrawing the third pay, that's probably the safest full path for Brian there.
And Brian does choose to get out. Oh, there's the 9, so that
Oh.
was one of the last tiles in the wall versus the 3-6, which I think was much stronger in the wall. But in the
Oh,
end,
Ura 3.
wow,
Oh.
that is
I caught a
extremely
little bit of
unfortunate.
the path of the first game from this table, just, peeking into it, and Tucker also dealt into a chase, I think, by Eric for a Mongon in that game as well.
Yeah, I saw the result of that game at least. Eric had a big first place and actually jumps most of the players at this table, even with a small chance at finding a promotion slot after that game.
Yeah, Eric's had quite a rise because was sitting in the demotion range for the first half the season.
That's right. And had an incredible series and then followed it up with another awesome series and follows it up with what's looking to be a good start in this series as well. Just back to back to back amazing sessions to just ascend in B1. For Edwin, this high pie looks like it wants to be Pinshu. We'll see if the draws accommodate that approach. And this 3-mon could be held if you're thinking about making Ipeko, but Edwin doesn't want to get into trouble with backfires there. We'll just cut the 3-mon away. We do see Tucker opening up on the left for Pei Dora 1. Tempai on that Dora, though the current 3 pins are being locked away in the hands, but there are 2 in the wall.
Yeah, that feels like it's going to either have to be a sumo or maybe if like Edwin reaches and gets unlucky.
That was a very interesting cut from Tucker, dropping the 4 pin there instead of the 1 pin. The reason you might want to cut the 1 pin is that if you draw the 5 pin, then you can shift up to a 3 pin 6 pin weight. But Tucker's saying, I don't even want to win on the 6 pin. I don't want to cut the 1 pin also and reveal that I
Right.
was holding tiles in that area. So I'm just going to Tsumokiri, not waste any time thinking about my discard, and just hold everything the way it is. And if I don't get my door draw, then oh well.
Yeah, that's a great observation.
The
That
other
is probably exactly what was going on there.
Ooh, we're gonna see a Ricci. And Eric is just on the prowl here. This is a 3-sided Ricci Pinfu Dora 1, waiting 258 mon. There's a ton of these in the wall. 1-8, a pair of 2 mon, and also 2-5 mon as well. So 5 tiles total.
That's not bad.
And when it is Tempai not willing to take this Ricci though.
Yeah, this Ricci is really spooky. Tucker.
It's Suji,
Well,
so shoved it out.
yeah, so Edwin does miss his chance there to a certain extent and calls for K10.
Right. We don't have swap calling, so the 6 can't come out. But I think Edwin was waiting for the Sanchoku upgrade, and just the tile came out too late. So we'll see if Edwin can find K10 here. Still Ishanten.
Yeah, actually has a decent shot here.
I mean, amazingly, Eric with his wide weight hasn't won yet, and Tucker hasn't dealt in, kind of forced into just shoving
This
tiles.
4 looks really bad though.
It does. Can you afford to drop the 1-2 pin or the 4-4 so? I don't know if those look much better. Does go with a 1-2. Edwin draws back into Tempai. Edwin's well familiar with playing this dance, accustomed to this dance.
Right. The 2 looks okay.
Speaking of twos, there's the Morichi to Dora. And no Una, so 5,200 points, plus the Ricci stick back. And Eric, over 40,000 points again. And we were talking a little bit about the ascension of Eric earlier. I think, one point there is just the volatility of a 24 game season. It's not like Eric is playing much differently now than he was previously in the season. It's just that earlier the Ricci's weren't going his way, and it seems recently they have been going his way. And it's certainly difficult to draw conclusions in a small sample size,
Right.
such as 24 games.
Boom.
And so really you just have to do the best you can. Eric opens up with a double east here. That's quite a strong start. I'm trying to see if there's any way to get a little extra value here.
You draw Dora.
Draw door is great chance. I guess
I
there's a
can't
Sanchoku
like
too. Four,
the
5, 6, 5, 6, 7.
Sanshoku feels a little, yeah, 567 isn't a possibility, though. I don't think you go out of your way for it.
Right, yeah, definitely a bit of a stretch. And yeah, Eric's not going to sacrifice any efficiency here, pushing for something as speculative as a 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku, just holding multiple blocks here. The 2 mon, 7 mon, 6 pin would all be useful tiles. And rewarded.
Easy grab there.
Ishanten now. Of course, Eric will choose to keep the 4-5 soap because it's a diamond shape, has 2 tiles that can complete it, and also chooses this Kanchan 5-7 pin instead of the Kanchan 6-8 mon because the 5 pin is close to Dora and he wants to be able to accept that if it's drawn. I guess an interesting question is, if he draws the 5 mon, do you say 3-sided weight is good enough to discard your Dora acceptance?
In Eric's position, yes, I think.
All right.
That's an interesting cut. I guess you're headless still, so
Yeah, could have chosen to cut the 5 mon, gone headless. Would actually be Tempai right now on the 6 pin, but it's not really an amazing headless.
I can't really tell what's the better way to go there.
Yeah, I think they're pretty close.
Okay, so now I think this is a Ponten shift.
Yeah, this is a
maybe?
really interesting play. Normally, I feel like just cutting the pair is standard, but perhaps Eric is sensing something around the table because we haven't really looked at the other hands that much.
Right.
And let's take a quick peek here.
There's a 4-mon loose in Brian's hand.
Could this actually be Honitsu shift? No, just drops the 6 away. Really thinks that he's going to find a Pon here. And again, like you said, Brian's got that 4 mon. However, Brian in the standings is in a promotion slot and has a lot of incentive to play relatively passively here.
Right, and appears to be doing so.
In the meantime, Tucker had opened up already a while ago on the Hatsu, looking Ishanten right now for Hatsu only. The goal for Tucker is to pick up about 60 to 70. Oh, we'll need to pass you. So 80 points
Kang.
in a couple games.
Right.
Khan, yeah, Khan for value. Will not see anything pop up except the 3 pin.
Oh. You didn't get your Dora, but that is Tempai for Eric.
Yeah, Tempai is Tempai.
And Edwin calls into Itsu Tempai, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, finally that tile leaves Brian's hand as he was getting rather close to a very expensive hand himself. Potentially Itsu Dora 2. Or even more, actually. I think there was a pair of the original Dora in that hand. So yeah, quite strong, but it does deal into 2,900. And we'll see the dealership repeat for Eric. Oh, Edwin instantly called the East and now draws the fourth copy. Do you think we'll see a con?
That's well, I would say normally I would say that's a formula for shenanigans, but for Edwin, it may just be I know this tile is safe for sure.
That's true.
That's my safe tile.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Right now, there's no value outside of the East and potentially a Dora 9 pin. But if Edwin gets a...
Yeah, it could also end up being a play for foo.
that's a
Like,
good
but
point.
I don't. Oh, I guess.
Yeah, it does take the
I guess he
foo.
says, I want another tile. I don't want this safe tile right now.
Yeah, could even pawn for a headless Ishanten.
Boom.
And because you have a Nobutan shape, this is quite strong. So looking for 3-so, 6-so, and 6-pin, 9-pin. Or Tempai.
Yeah, the issue with the
G.
extra foo is that it doesn't, for one Han, it doesn't boost you that much. So maybe it was more of a, can I get a Dora?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, of course you're hoping for the
play.
Dora more than the foo, but if you don't get the Dora, at least you have the foo. And hey, there's another 9-mon in the wall somewhere. Maybe Edwin could get a second con.
Each.
We are going to see a Ricci, though, across the way from Tucker. This is a good opportunity. Ricci, Pinfu, Dora, 1 waiting 2-5-mon. Edwin has
And
dropped
Edwin
so
says,
many of those tiles.
I don't like this 3-pin at all.
Oh, you can't blame him. That 3-pin looks terrible.
So it goes with the half Suji 4, so.
Yeah, that's pretty clever. It's easy to forget that sometimes when you call the tile, it looks like it's just a random 4-so, but it is actually half Suji. It's going to be very tricky
It
to
took me a
defend.
second to see. Well.
And if Eric chooses to push here, he might end up dealing in, as it looks like Eric is Dion Chanten with a Dora of his own. He's got so many points, it wouldn't be that surprising to see him try to push a little bit. Oh, Tempai for Edwin.
Yep, just sticks on that 3 so or 3-pin Tonki. One in the wall for that weight, though. If additional information
but
comes
it gets
out,
there. Wow.
wow. If I'm if I'm Tucker, I'm very unhappy right.
Yeah, well, Tucker also knew that their weight was a little bit low in the wall as well. I didn't do the numbers there, but I think there were 4 or 5, no more than 3, but probably even less than that. Oh wait, Eric had one, so maybe two tiles max.
G.
That was always going to be a difficult chance for Tucker too. But yeah, amazing that 3-pin ends up coming out in Edwin's favor.
G.
And that's the 3-pin that he had bailed on earlier. We do see some aggressive calling here in East 4. Brian with the Haku uncle already, just trying to pick up some points here. It'll be very
Yeah,
interesting.
I think this play makes a lot of sense. You're like, well, yeah, this isn't gonna solve my 30K problem right now, but I want the extra chance.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see a con from Brian later. Again, maybe he doesn't want to allow for extra volatility with a con, but if he's just looking for points, there is, it is a way to do it. It gives you a chance at least. One thing I'll say about the chi there is that I would prefer opening if it was a
Boom.
not a diamond shape that I was filling. If it was more of a if it's a like this 2-so Kanchan fill, I would be
Yeah,
happy to
if it was a
call.
worse shape,
Right.
yeah.
But perhaps Brian's maybe the call was after Eric opened up and said, "Okay, I need to match the speed of what the points leader is
I
doing."
don't recall.
As is Brian is Ishan 10. We do have Tucker opening up on the right as well for what appears to be East Chanta.
Okay.
And of course,
Eric draws and keeps the Dora.
yeah, I definitely don't want to drop. Oh, we don't want to deal in with the Dora. It looks like Eric's also going for a Chanta, so can easily use it. And wow!
Oh my god,
G.
you just take this in Tonki, right? It's just which Tonki. The one makes sense, though they are all held.
G.
It's really funny. There are 2 players going for Chanta. The one isn't as good as it usually is.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I
there's
I
every.
wonder if
Oh, I thought Edwin was going for Chanta as well. It's actually Sanchoku. Although you're gonna have to drop the 789 shape to find your pair somehow.
that Sanchoku over there is looking a little it's not it hasn't gotten where it needs to go. We'll put it that way.
Right. It also could just be an early K10 call because um, with two players going for really awkward to complete hands, maybe it will set it to a Ryukyoku, in which case you want to be 10 by 2. You don't want to be paying out 3,000 points.
Right. I wonder if Brian will ever like switch out this weight because otherwise it looks so good.
Right? I mean, it's become Suchi on multiple occasions. All the three of, now all four Tuso are out. So
Oh, but Edwin, how many turns do we have left? I feel like that I can't tell what his no, the one is
yeah, it looks like he's
does
worried
not come
about it. Like,
out.
he knows that it's Shonpai right now, and with Akabe. It's like, why is it Shonpai? Why hasn't anybody dropped it yet? Probably someone's got
Yeah,
a
I
pair of it.
think I think if you cut the 2-mon first, you are worried about Shampon or Tonki or something.
And the issue for Edwin is he has two tiles that he can never drop: the Haku and the Pei, and that's too many
Right.
tiles to draw around. So he will just be folding out here and playing as safe as possible. After how many South had been discarded? That was the third one. Yeah, so that would have been a good switch either.
You push the 3 instead of the 1, so here. Oh no, it
1、
pushes the Suji 7.
Okay, 9 pin also safe here. Where are the West? There's one in the wall. Will we see Haitate Sumo?
No.
Two players
Though
Tenpai.
that would have been I actually wouldn't have been surprised.
No, same here. Like, okay, if Eric wins Haitate Sumo here, he's gonna get a promotion. It's just that kind of flow. Wow, Dora's the Chun, and Brian's got a pair. Edwin's got a
Oh,
pair.
it's yeah, Mochi Mochi. So I I wonder if I feel like you can't really call Atazuke on the Dora Yaku. I mean,
You can, you absolutely
but
can, but
you
it's
can. You just
it's
don't, you can't expect it
right.
for somebody to throw it for you.
Yeah, it's really rough here. Of course, Brian could stay close and use the Chun as the pair. Currently, the shapes are kind of moving that direction.
Mm-hmm.
See, here's an opportunity to open that would fill a bad shape, but also makes your play a little bit more obvious.
Right. Yeah, that one maybe is too obvious.
Oh, good draw, Brian Ishanten.
Rewarded actually for passing. It looks like.
On the right, it looks like Tucker is also Ishanten, looking for a 6 pin twice. Edwin across the way, Dion Chanten, also using the Chun as the door, so it doesn't need to open up. Sorry, Chun Dora as a pair, so it doesn't need to open up either. It'll be a Ricci battle, most likely between the two players with Dora. On the left, that's a lot of pairs. I see 4 for Eric, but I'm imagining that he doesn't plan on making Chitoi here.
That doesn't. Well, now you do.
Yeah,
I think.
Edwin's got an out now. Could just actually has multiple outs there. There's a 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku that's available. So I imagine if a 7 comes out from Tucker, uh, Edwin will just call it. You
Yeah,
can
maybe.
you're gonna need the Hatsu or the Chun anyway. So it's not even Atosuke. Eric did manage to draw another pair, so now it's Chitoi.
The he paired up the 2 pin right after you said that.
1、
Classic. Well, Tucker will find Tempai here. Takes the 6, 9 pin weight. Ricci, Pinfu, potentially Tanya. There are 4 tiles in the wall for this weight.
Yeah, the problem for Brian now is this 7 isn't the worst tile, but also I think is probably spookier than uh he's comfortable with. And the 1 mon also doesn't look great.
It would help if someone would follow this 5 pin and, make it one chance or
Oh,
full
well,
cowbed.
the 7 looks
Gee.
better than the 8, so yes. Which I think is actually fair. Oh,
Dong.
That's Sotogawa 8 pin. And 9 didn't look that bad.
no, it didn't.
Fortunately for Brian, it was Yasume. Only the 2,000 points for Richie Pinfu. No Tanyao there. And that means we're going to be sent into South rounds. Tucker back in the dealer seat.
This hand already, this 117799 is a mess. That draw doesn't help.
No, it just chooses to drop the pencha, and yeah, this is so awkward. I don't know what the hand wants to be. And I guess if you don't know what it wants to be, just play sort of as regularly as you can and wait for some draws to give you some indication. Normally you
Yeah.
cut a pair when you're over paired like that, but that 7799 could turn into Ipeco, so Tucker doesn't want to do that just yet.
Right.
And we'll just wait and see what happens in the hand. In the meantime, we have to look on the left.
Brian's already putting together what looks like a pretty, like, is a little low in the lower Sozu there, but that's could easily be your Chinitsu if people throw the mid to upper tiles your way.
For anyone who's looking at those discards around this table, there's no indication whatsoever that it's holding so many tiles. It looks like Brian, after pairing up that 8, is just not even going to commit. This is Ishan
Ultimately, yeah, decides to not take the hand that way.
Right. I mean, yeah, Richie Tanyo with Ipeco chance is pretty good, especially when the point situation is this close between second, third,
Yeah,
and
this
fourth.
shape. Yeah, I can see this route. This is already being Ishan 10 for a decent hand.
Across the way, Eric pulls in a good tile. That is Dion Shanten now, looking for the Haku, which is still buried in the wall. And Tucker draws into Ishanten now, holding out for Itsu chance. If you draw something like 4-mon, I wonder if he'll take, like Tucker could take the Tenpai there, could also just hedge Itsu.
I actually think that I would have hedged Itsu if I drew another Mon tile, but I think I would have been likely to just cut the 5 when I drew that 7.
And just hold the slightly wider Ishanten.
I mean, that's what I would lean toward, I think. But if Tucker wants value, this makes sense.
Right, and now that we're at the end of the second row, it might be too late to consider that. Well, we're already gonna have Tenpai. Oh, well, you almost have to chase. Can Tucker dodge that with like 9-pin, 9-pin? No, you will chase. And just positionally speaking, Tucker cannot afford to give up this dealership. Right. So it makes a lot of sense to fight here.
That's painful.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there. But as you did note, the 5-mon could have come out earlier. However, if it did, Tucker would have dealt in on the 5 so instead. So that dealership was doomed no matter how you looked at it.
That seems to be the case, yeah.
We move to Edwin, currently in third place, but not too far behind 30,000 in second place. This high pie, it is looking like it wants to be Itsu. It could be 5, 6, 7 Sancho as well. And we'll just hold out, wait and see what the tiles say. On the right, Eric probably wants to call down for Hakudora 1.
Yeah, Hakudora 1 is totally fine.
With this big lead too, especially if you can get Brian below 30,000 points again, get another +5 Uma. Brian, in the meantime, opens up on the Hatsu, also looking to just shut the hand down quickly. Unclear whether that will incorporate a door or not.
Floating the 7 because you'll take the 6 if someone wants to throw.
It's true, yeah. Or if the wall decides to allow you to draw
If
it.
if the wall's nice to you, but that 7 is probably, you just take the next call into Tempai.
Well, this is Tempai on the
That
6.
is that is Tempai on this. Okay, so that
And of course, it's upgradable. Certainly, any 1-4 so, 3 so as well will
Boom.
give you a diamond weight. 8 so as well. Lots of chances here to improve.
like yeah, I mean if you cut the 7, you cut this too.
Edwin is Dianchant in here looking for a pair, but Tucker has a false Tempai here. There's no Yaku just yet, looking for the south. That has yet to be seen.
Yeah, this Otozuke from Tucker felt a little aggressive for the, a maximum of Nandora 1.
Well, it looks like Brian has managed to shift to the improved weight 6-9 so now. Oh, second door for Eric. He'll try to use that, but could end up 50-10. Really needs to draw
Right.
9 so before he gets Tempai. Or could chi this and cut 7 so, 8 so, but finds Tempai instead. Might just deal in here. Depends on how close he thinks that the players are to Tempai. Could also just go 6-mon, 6-mon
I
instead.
feel like yeah.
Wow, that's a good.
No, just not drop the. Yeah, I don't think you can Mawashi here still, but yeah, just not can't take the obvious Senpai.
Edwin as well sees the opportunity shift into Pingshu
Gee.
Kanyao and takes it. In fact, opens up for it. Waiting 5-8
5-8.
pin. The 8 pins are all gone, so it's just the 2 remaining 5 pin in the wall. And this, well, I guess this 5 pin that Eric has that needs to come out. No con there.
No, that would be amusing, but not a good idea.
Tucker finds Tempai, but
Okay,
Brian
nope.
folded after drawing the
Chi.
south.
Yeah, no longer
No.
Ochazuke, but okay. And eventually Eric does deal in. With it, looks like he found a different Tempai.
Yep, found Tempai again, non-50-10 with potential Mung on even if Adora came out. That will deal in 2,900 points to Edwin, who is now very close to overtaking second place.
Do you think Edwin takes this Chitoy?
Yeah, he's certainly playing for it. The 4-mon first
The
discard.
4 is a very clear, like, early Chitoy commit, yeah.
Now, recently, Edwin's chi toys have been turning into Suankos. So, not making any predictions, but
Eric, I don't think has any incentive to not just take this for Chun, maybe Chundor 1. But won't call in. Well, that 8 wouldn't have helped anyway.
looks like
Across the way, Pain Honitsu looks likely. Honitsu even maybe doesn't take that call though.
we've seen Brian when he has these hands that are so heavy in one suit, not forcing it, like still dropping these honor tiles, still holding the door acceptance and the decent 3-mon floater.
Yeah, definitely doesn't force it as much as I think actually like there really is like a scale of how forcefully you will like, shift your hand for flushes and
Right.
I think Brian is definitely on the, I'll just let the hands play them, the way that the walls tells me they'll play.
Well,
Kind of angle.
interestingly, Brian is Ishanten for Chitoy. We'll see if that ends up
That
being.
is not the way I expected the hand to go.
Definitely not. Well, hasn't had the opportunity to pull in anything in the Pinsu. Imagine, like, if you saw a 9-pin.
Nothing after the initial 2-pin. But you just.
You could
Okay,
disguise
now
solo the 1-pin here. The 6-so is a normal cut.
I gotta be honest, I don't think there's any world I don't shift to Chinitsu.
Right?
in this
But
position.
Brian, oh no, doesn't even call that. Still holds the Chitoi Ishanten. Oh, in fact, just takes the wider Ishanten. Yeah, just not committed to it. Believes in getting there close. We'll see if he manages to do so. On the right, Eric is Ishanten for Ricci, Pinfu, potential Ipeco. And there's also door acceptance in that hand. Had a choice there. Chose to discard the Chun pair. Intentionally aiming for Pinfu. Does get Tempai. Will Dama. Says, I have enough points right now. I don't need to put myself in danger. And of course, Eric probably a little annoyed that with, two sequences in the Sozu that could accept Dora, he hasn't drawn a single one. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that one didn't go his way.
oh, there it is. Just wait for it.
Oh, there it is.
Do we Dama for a second Dora, or do we Dama for this 5 mon to deal in?
No, I think that
Wrong.
Yep.
Pinky Pico Dora, 3,900 goes
And
Eric's
that
way.
was the Takame, so that stings for Brian.
Not only the Takame, but also that puts Brian below 30,000. So Eric, if the game were to end this way, as the only player above 30,000, would be picking up an extra 5 points of Uma. That was basically a manga on the way it turned out, if he can hold the current status.
Right.
And oh my, look at this hand.
Yeah, this hand is strong for sure. You know, that 258 shape in the Mon looks bad, but I think like any draw gets you a shape.
1、
Just opens up immediately for this Tanyao door 2, potentially even 3, depending on where the last couple of 8s so are. On the right, Brian with the Haku pair. I don't know if he had the pair when Tucker discarded the Haku the first time.
I don't recall.
But it's very consistent with the play that we've seen to not be too aggressive, opening up and putting himself in danger.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the other hands. Tucker's and Edwin's hands both kind of suck.
Yeah, neither of these look very, very strong at all. Oh, big draw. Eric.
Yeah, that's an incredible draw for Eric.
Ishanten now. And Tucker is starting to get something to build over there. Maybe Ricci Pinfu.
Yeah, has had some decent draws to help out with that hand.
And the tile Eric wants the most, the 3-pin. There are 3 in the wall.
Slight backfire on the 5 so there.
Yeah, perhaps could have considered holding the 5 so in favor of this 8-pin, but I think Eric just doesn't want to hold a tile down the Dorasuchi for that long. And we'll just take Tempai here.
Yeah, I think that's it. The first I said backfire, but it's a fair.
Oh yeah, certainly. After the 5 so's drawn, it's definitely the 4 so feels the worst, but it's understandable why we go take this direction. And we do have Ishanten for Tucker across the way. 3-sided in the Manzu for Tempai. Most the 1-4 pin will work. Ideally, the 4 pin for Tanyao as well. Oh, there's a 3.
Oh, that doesn't fit.
Tucker.
Doesn't...
Edwin pauses. Edwin senses danger here.
I can't tell if that's a good read or if that's a little paranoid.
I think it's good. We have 2 calls from dealer, and they haven't shown any presence in the lower Pinzu. They've also discarded a bunch of central tiles. Oh, Dora draw. Okay, this is a manga now.
Right. So, let's see. 1-4 in the wall and 1-7.
There's a chance for Eric to switch weights to the 6 so 7 so, which almost looks safer against him given the discards that he's made so far, but it has the chance of just being fruity 10 if you draw the last 9 so. Turned out Brian was the one who drew the last 9 so. Oh, there's the 7.
Oh.
Tucker dodges for now.
Yeah,
has to pass one more tile. Really hoping to not get Tempai. Said, please don't give me Tempai. Oh, it's Tempai. Yeah.
Wrong.
What are you gonna do? You need points. You gotta fight for your hand, and that will do the Tanya Dora 3.
That's criminal.
You get
The wall
Tempai when
is
you don't want it.
yeah, the wall is having its fun tonight.
And Eric benefiting off of the 62,000 points now, looking to be plus 52.2 if the game were to end in its current score line. But Eric's not done yet. Just wants to keep racking in the points. I mean, plus 52.2 puts him in range of Viet and Christine in 5th and 6th place here.
Right, that does.
But if he picks up, 10, 15 more points, that would put him into the promotion zone.
We'll have to see. They're just they're only doing 2 tonight, right?
I suspect so.
assume.
Usually this table tends to have multiple days. And
This
7、
this hand Eric's got isn't looking. It doesn't look like the fastest hand. When Tucker's Chanta looks like a faster hand than your hand.
yeah, that's pretty telling.
ポン、
Just start opening up though. And I don't know, maybe we get some miracle six mon draws. Get a doko going.
That would be fun.
Brian, oh my, that's
Yeah, Brian's
Tempai.
hand is already
1、
well. I said already Tenpai.
Thought
I was
for,
trying to read it right as I heard reach.
Yeah, maybe thought for a second about Dama for Hatsudora 1 2600, but there's just so much value.
With this weight, I think it's you want the chance to just get your positive at like. So this is so this is 52 minimum,
That's right.
which is what you want.
Is Eric just gonna fight here? Just to say it's hard to defend? No. Still holding Ishan 10 actually. Oh, another 8 mon drawn by Edwin.
So what?
That's
what
Tempai.
he's thinking?
It's Shabo Tempai. Doesn't take the Srichi. It's not a very good wait.
Yeah.
How long do you wait for an upgrade? Or do we go for it all? Oh, East is revealed to be safe. I guess it was twice cut, so it was pretty safe. I think this is definitely a shove for Chinitsu.
That's what it looks like.
All right, one more Montile drawn. 5 mon. There's only one tile left in the wall for Brian. This is Tempai. If you push the 7, it's one chance. Eric says this is good enough. There's no Yaku here.
Eric's saved from this kind of like dangling 8 mon in the hand.
Just needs to pass one more tile. That's Tempai for Tucker as well.
Wow.
Edwin's getting close. You can toss the 9 and still maintain Tempai, but decides to bail out. That's fair enough. You've got 62,000 points. It'll be 2 players Tempai in the end. Brian and Tucker picking up 1,500 apiece. Dealership finally passes.
Maybe Dama was the right play. But I don't think, I mean, score-wise, I don't think it was.
Well, when you review the log, you'll check your score and say, yeah, I think score-wise, I should take this Ricci. And then you look at the wall and say, okay, I've got like 5 tiles in the wall. I did the right thing. If I didn't draw any of the 5 tiles, then that's not my fault, right?
Right.
We've got Brian now, the last dealer, with 2 Homba and a Ricci stick in the middle of the table, hoping to draw the 5 door and complete a shape there. On the right, Tucker opening up aggressively for Honitsu, Toy Toy, and maybe Dora.
I guess.
If we're thinking about max value, then Toy Toy, but more realistically, just Honitsu, Chun, maybe one more Yakuhai, maybe double south. Across the way, Ottosuke for Edwin, although it doesn't need to be waiting for the Haku. If Haku doesn't come, he'll probably just shift to Tanyao and Dora.
Yeah, this hand at least has a backup plan.
Oh, but people are getting close. Eric, Ishanten for Ricci Nomi. Brian.
Brian looks like he's kind of playing around with the
1
Sanchoku Junchan like potential here.
Yeah, if you draw a 9-pin, that's a great excuse to cut the 4-so and the 6-so and
Home.
go for Junchan Sanchoku. But as expected, Edwin does shift to Ta now. Tenpai now on 3-6-so. It's a little too late to make that play for Brian now. In the
Yeah.
south, 6-so will be retained. There are 5 tiles in the wall for Edwin. It should win. But we've seen stranger things happen. Okay, Brian says there's a different route here. It's going to be Sanchoku and Dora.
Yeah. Um
Makes sense. Middle Sozu does look
it
pretty
does.
bad
It
against
does
Sumo.
Edwin.
make sense. Yeah, and then sees, yeah, okay, so the Junchan wasn't gonna happen.
That Sumo's very big for Edwin. Positive finish and uh, lessens the value of Eric's big win here. Still, plus 45 is very strong for Eric. Edwin takes a positive 6.5 second place. Brian, negative 9.7 third. And Tucker, negative 41.8 fourth. And as we look at the standings here, Brian is slowly dropping down a little bit. Hasn't lost a lot of points. And
Still has about, at the moment, has about 40 points of padding, just under.
Yeah, and I think the game has updated into the scores now. Yeah, 123. Yeah, about 40 points. And of course, Christine has 2 more games to play. If yet 2 games to play, they might even be at the same table.
They are at the same table, I think.
Yeah, that will be quite an interesting series to watch. And now Eric with 2 games to play. Wow, this tension at
It's
the
gonna be tight.
This is definitely going to be a very interesting series to watch. However, they might. Oh, they are continuing to play. This table might finish tonight.
Oh, well, what was the plan? Were you going to stick with this table, or?
Well, it looks like there's this is the most recent game, so I think we will in fact stay with this table for at least one match, and then there's definitely going to be some starting at the top of the hour that we can swap around to. But why not? Let's watch one more from the series. I'm kind of interested to see what ends up happening in this one. Can Eric keep up the streak of first place finishes? Can Brian hang on to his promotion spot? We'll find out in a few seconds, as they've already started. They're less than a minute away from the gong sounding. Let me fix this really quickly. There we go. Those standings look a little bit better now. And with 2 games to go, the cut line for the demotion zone is 104. So Edwin, pretty safe here. Just needs to hold out for the remainder of the season. We've got the gong. Tucker, first dealer. Edwin to the right. Eric across the table. And on the left, we have Brian.
All right, we need to fix the sound effects here real quick.
Or are they not showing up well for you? Let me see if I can refresh that. Boop. Yeah, they are coming through to me and to the rest of the Twitch audience.
Okay, well then I'll be okay then.
Yeah, I know I've had a bug recently. It just showed up last week where, for some reason, when I share a screen with other people, it doesn't show up. But OBS is picking it up, so it looks like we're good.
All right,
and
then yeah, we won't worry about it.
Tucker is looking pretty good with his hi-fi.
Yeah, this is a very strong starting hand, though. You don't. I guess you're okay. It looks strong, but there are a couple of problems. This 6 7 8 8 9 shape is just a penchant, not the greatest. You can just call Chun and end up Tenpai for just Chun no Mi, though. If
Yeah, it doesn't even want this Tempai. I
Doesn't even
like this
want
Dama.
that
I like
this
this Dama.
Tenpai.
Because there's Sun Uncle here. There's even Su Uncle. And Tucker needs
Right.
points. This is great play. 5 pin isn't even that great either, so continue to dominate and hope for some good improvements. Edwin on the right, slowly getting there for a reach Pinfu. Needs 2 tiles. Across the way, Eric also reach Pinfu Ishanten. Dora and Tanya's available.
That shape is a little weird with basically like a kind of a floating 6 in the middle of the shape.
Yeah,
The
it's
mon
like
shape
a
there.
4-5-6 and a 5-6-7 with just a floating 6. But you can think of it as a Kutsuki Ishanten, waiting for
Right.
something to connect to the 6 mon or the 6 pin. Of course, there's no deal in there as Tucker has not declared Ricci. There's no Yaku just yet. Even
And
just
what
calling the tune, please. Give me
for
something to work with.
Brian, that's Ishanten. Likely to end up just on that. Um, now has the option to take Terminal Shabo instead of the 2 Sokanchan.
Yeah, and Tucker, I think, will take this Ricci on the 8-pin Chun for Ricci
That feels a lot better.
potential Sun Uncle.
1、
And I'm sure there's some hesitation there, just given this overall score line. Tucker says, I think I might need Suonko in order to, have a chance. I need to be playing for something, right?
I think maybe if you're where Tucker is in the standings, I think there's like there's 2 different ways you can take it. You can just go for the Hail Mary every single hand. Like, or you can just say, I'm just gonna play regular Mahjong, and if I don't,
Yeah, Tucker doesn't need Suonko necessarily. Could also just rack up a bunch of repeats as dealer. And winning a Sadonko here would be pretty big. Unfortunately for Tucker, all of the winning tiles have been drawn. Brian is not discarding this tune. And Edwin has, in fact, managed to call into Tanya Odora 1 Tempai. In fact, threw a Dora against the Ricci, which is normally not a move you would make. But Edwin felt that it was safe in this particular instance. Maybe as a result of, in part, due to the amount of time it took for Tucker to take that reach, he says, well, if it was a wait on Dora, probably wouldn't have
that's true.
hesitated a second.
Yeah, if there was a wait on Dora, it would be a snap Ricci.
And we'll see if we make it to Nuka with Shompai. North is pushed and passes. There are
But yeah,
two
this
5-pin.
tune I don't think ever comes out. Brian just doesn't have a safe path to Tempai.
Eric and Brian both passing. Ennui manages to get a safe tile, and so we will have Ryukyoku, Tucker picking up 1500, Edwin the same. Tucker will leave 1,000 in the middle of the table, and the Homba is added. We'll see a repeat. Saipai makes me think Honitsu thoughts.
Doesn't look like it's giving the same thoughts to Tucker though.
Yeah, I don't want to force Honitsu for sure. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, it's Toy Toy. Toy Toy Honitsu. How about that? Ignore the 4 pairs in hand.
I mean, I'm willing to try for it. I think.
It should be very difficult to call 5 mon and 6 mon, especially if you start to
It
show.
should be, but then again, desperate times, desperate measures, perhaps.
Right. We see Edwin holding pairs as well, 4 of them in hand. Across the way, Eric with a more natural, standard-looking Tanya or Pinhu hand. The left, Brian holding the other souths.
Yeah, so that may put the kibosh on this, or at least obstruct this Honitsu Toy whatever thing.
So what you're
Tucker's
telling
got
me
going on
is
here.
that it's Benhon Chitoy.
It might be, actually.
I mean, at this rate, there's a 5 mon held, 6 mon held, 8 mon is held. South is held. Like, all these pairs are, you'll have a hard time making Anko out of them. So maybe it does actually have to be Chitoy here. This is where we do wish we had that 1 mon back.
Right.
But again, if it's Chitoy, we don't necessarily even need the 1 mon. Just draw more
Speaking of
pairs.
Chitoy, Edwin has a very classic Chitoy Ishanten on the right there.
Yeah, although it could be a couple different things. He's still holding out for the potential Junchan Ipeko.
No longer. Chooses the Forso
The Suji
perhaps
theory. Yeah.
because it just would look very safe to him given those discards.
Although now it's twice cut, it is less
Yeah,
likely against
actually
his
it
east.
may be not as good of a tile as you thought.
Oh, another pair.
And you'd wish you'd kept a 9 now.
Let's see. North has just come out a couple times. Oh, North is actually 50-10. Are we going to see the fabled Edwin? I've dropped a pair. I've dropped a tile, but I think I'm going to pair it up anyway. Or is that last North going to come into hand?
I suppose we may.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Tempai on the east.
so you have to take on the tone. Yeah, the Hellweight tone.
Oh, the one came back.
Oh, the one. Well, actually,
It's
that's still
Chitoi
just
Shanten, yeah.
Chitoi Shanten.
Unfortunately, it's going to be hard to turn that into a normal hand here. The east, just as Edwin switches to the west, which is a normal cut, you prefer the once cut west
The
versus
once
the
cut
twice cut
west,
east.
right?
But surprise, the east was actually the child drawn. In the meantime, Eric across the way is Shanten for Richi Pinfu Tanyao. Oh, now a wider Ishanten. So
Yeah,
many draws
that
give him Tempai.
right. And Brian's hand is still a little stuck here. Is that 2 Shanten? Yes.
Yeah, now Ishanten. Where's the west? There's only 4 tiles in the wall. Eric is Dama Tempai. Ah, found
There
it.
it is.
It is a little weird it has to come out. And Brian's just looking for a safe tile because he cannot get Tempai without calling pull. Goes with a 7.
And 7 was just discarded like 1 turn ago.
Yeah, it's been all Tsumugi since then. This Chi will not give Tempai. So Tucker will look for a draw.
Is parsing the hand right now
Chi.
to confirm.
Okay, believes in the Puln. This is still a
Oh
valid
yeah.
option.
Oh, it was just trying to decide what's the value of an extra jaw versus what's the value
Oh,
of
got
having
there! Got the
Pwn
Puln!
10.
Wow, Tucker made the right call. Impressive. All right, 1,000 for Tucker, Edwin, and Eric. Yeah, I thought the extra draw for Cheetoy was more likely than the call chances. But
But had
amazingly,
three tiles to pwn with, so
yeah,
maybe
it was. Yeah, and you'd think an honor would come out, but it was actually the 5-mon of
it
all
was actually the
things.
5 bond, right?
Insane.
Brian already drawing into an Anko of Hatsu with a Haku pair in hand and a Dora. So we'll probably just try to cash out on. Well, hold on.
For
With
no,
what's in the pot,
yeah, there.
it is enough. 3,900 is enough.
For no particular reason, I'll note that there are 3 tunes in the wall. Tucker.
No, yeah.
No reason.
Just a piece of trivia.
Exactly. Tucker, this hand looks really rough. Are we doing another Mon hand? Because
That
this
so
one
shape
actually...
is too strong, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I'm feeling very... I'm thinking less Honitsu thoughts in this hand. And after seeing that, Hakupon Eric immediately ditches the tune and says, I don't want to have to think about that. On the right, Edwin Ishanten, though. Kutsuki Ishanten could draw around the 5-mon or the 2-pin.
I'm not used to hearing those two things together because Edwin has complete shapes. Often he just has like a terminal and an honor as his
Wow.
floating tiles.
This is a 2-sided tempo. You could either take 2-5 pin or the 5-6 mon. The 2-pin looks pretty good. In
Does
fact,
not take it. I think I disagree.
yeah, I wonder if this is a play for Pinfu. It just says it's going to be Pinfu.
Oh, like forcing a dama.
Right. Well, before
Mm,
maybe I don't know about a dama.
well, I feel like if you're gonna Ricci, you just take
One of those
your
two.
Ricci there.
Yeah, the two pin looked pretty decent. So I think the 2-5 pin weight would have been a reasonable one. I mean, the 5-5-6 mod also is pretty good because then you don't have to drop it later.
Well, there's your dama.
Yeah,
It's
but
just only one left.
right, that's why it's a dama instead of a Ricci, I'm sure. Also, there's 2-3-4 Sanchoku Tanyao upgrade. Let's see. Oh, Brian gets
相撲
there, finds the 3 so. Sanzo to take it away. 3 Han, and with all the foo from the Anko in hand, ends up getting the 5,200 instead. It's a nice hand there for Brian. Sends us to East 2, where Edward will have the dealership. Nice 8-pin draw, but the rest of the shapes are a little awkward. No Dora. Eric, a lot of So tiles. Dora accepting 2-pin. Probably see the 8-pin come out first, and then a full Honitsu commit. Then across the way, oh, actually draws a so tile and drops an honor instead. Oh, the West had already come out, a backfire. Understandable.
Right, that makes sense.
Across the
Edwin's
way,
hand looks like. Oh yeah. So what's going on across the way? It looks like.
that East pair, Brian can call down. Wants
Home.
to use the door as well. Will actually be Tucker opening up for Tanya Dora 1 most likely. Oh, actually, no. There's a pair of pay in the hand. Never mind. Otto's gonna pay Dora 1.
Yeah, that's fine. I feel like the pay is likely to come out.
Yeah, interesting decision there from Brian to cut the 9 mod. Dropping the tune is just Ishanten, but there's a potential you have to drop the door afterwards, and I think Brian is trying to commit a little bit more to this door shape.
Home.
Yeah, I think that's right because I would expect Brian to usually
Home.
just take a more efficient route.
We
But
saw.
is committed to the Dora there.
Oh, do we switch full blown Chinitsu? We'll hold
Home.
that thought because we can still draw. We don't lose that much by dropping the pay here.
The Yeah, I think there was time for that tile to go.
Yeah. Oh, and this is Tempai. Couple different weights you can choose 789, or you can choose the 2-5 so.
1
We'll take the Ricci on the
Yeah, it's
789.
with not worth dropping an entire completed Dora shape there when you have um hold on. Oh, is this one of those is this a 789 weight?
Yeah, yeah. So the 8-9 is a Shabo, and the 7
Is a
so is like a
Shabo and the
Tonki
7
with
is a
Ipeiko.
Tonki.
1
Yes.
Are we gonna shove the 8? Oh, Eric can see the 1 chance. Edwin can't. Puts him
Don't.
anyway. We'll deal in 2. Richidor 1. No Ipeiko here, notably.
Right.
Oh, hits the Ura though. That does make it a little bit more expensive.
That shape confused me a little because I'm used to seeing the 4-way weight version of it.
Right, right. Because it was a terminal and we didn't get the 10, so
No Tenso.
yeah, it was a little bit of an interesting choice to choose that weight because you lose Pinfu and confirmed Ipeiko. But
Right.
the weight did end
It
up
seemed to
winning.
work out fine though.
I do think the Tuso was dropped by Tucker, so maybe did miss out on some value. I mean, you can't complain about getting 5,200 though. Eric will be in first place moving into East 3 with double East and Honitsu chance. Wow.
Double E, yeah. This Mongon looks. The game basically just handed you a Mongon if the tiles go the right way. So
Yeah, will we see that East come out? The problem for Eric is that Edwin's holding it. Oh, but these
I
draws
mean,
keep coming. It might be Chinitsu at this point.
it easily could be.
It's just Ishanten,
I can't. Where can I get the ability to draw into my flushes
right?
this way?
I would love this hand.
1
Oh, but Brian got there first. Will Brian be able to shut it down? It's a good weight. 1-4 Mon.
1-4, yeah, is quite strong.
No Dora, but it is Ricci potential Tanya. Would that she have done anything? No.
No, yeah, no hesitation from Eric in shoving this 6.
Yeah, not with this value. Eric could have
Sumo.
cheated for Chinitsu and went east, but instead it will be a Tsumo here. This is a big Tsumo with Ura too.
Oh,
Wow.
Ura-2. I
And
mean,
that Brian needed one of these. If Brian can get one first, then he's pretty much solidified his spot.
right.
And Eric eats the Oyakaburi, drops below 30,000. Yeah, Brian probably doesn't realize how close he was to that maybe dealing into a dealer Mangan. Instead gets rewarded for the recheat.
Yeah, I think Eric was drawing so well it was almost hard to tell like how close it was.
Right. I mean, that's not to say you should fear the dealer hand there. I mean, you've got an early recheat. It's a Class A Yaman. It should be very good here. And
Right.
Brian got Takame and Ura too. Just a brilliant finish there for him. And looking strong in this one. This high pie as well. Looks like it could be Tanya, maybe 6, 7, 8 Sancho. In fact, opens up for it.
6, 7, 8, it looks like the play here.
Absolutely. Dion Shantan already. With the floating Hatsudora, that is a little uncomfortable.
I think I would be very likely to just cut it now.
Yeah, Tucker would appreciate that as well, holding a pair on the right. Across the way, Edwin with possibly a Pinfu, maybe Itsu in the Manzu. And you can see with this 2-pin cut, Brian isn't playing maximum efficiency. He's playing hold the door as long as you can.
Yes, that's okay, so Tucker calls out the Zuke on that Hatsu.
Yeah, and this might prevent, might stall Brian out. Brian might see that, say, look, the only thing you could be going for right now is the Dora. So I'm just not going to give it to you.
Yeah, because what the I guess South is still kind of technically live, but it does look very well. Nope. So yeah, now it's basically now it's just Hatsu.
And the pun really doesn't look like it wants to be Chanta with the early terminal cuts.
No.
So yeah, Brian's going to hold the Hatsu now. The question is, where's the last one? Edwin's not dead in the water. There still is one more available to be drawn. There it goes south, south, south. Probably suspicious of exactly what we know. Now, if
I don't know if I love this holding for Soul. I feel like if you've held it for this long, you might. I was gonna say you cut 3/3 instead, right?
yeah, it looks like
If you're like that scared, if it's that set in your hand.
Brian's definitely playing that direction. Because Brian, honestly, his plan is to Chi 7 pin, Chi 8 so, and wait on Doratanki with Sancho Kador too.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily need to just give up on this hand. Is it time for Eric to open? It is. Waits on 5-8.
Okay, the 9 is okay here. Unfortunately, like, oh well, that ends that hand.
Yeah.
Unless, that's.
It's just 1,000 though. That's not so bad for Brian.
Actually, that's yeah. He would have paid out more in Tenpai payments, very likely.
And also consider the fact that Brian doesn't know that Tucker only had a pair. If there's an Anko in hand, then dealing into 1,000 points might have saved you 4,000 or even 8,000 points. So Brian's probably not all that upset about that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be. Given that my chances at Tenpai there looked pretty slim.
Here, Tucker draws the Anko of East. Finally, what looks to be a good high pipe, but Brian's eager to shut this down with a Haku call, maybe even a Shun to follow.
Yeah, does not want to give anyone else any time. I've got my 39,000. Or yeah.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Tenpai already on the 7 pin.
Yeah, you hope for the tune call to make it 5-8, obviously.
Right. Or even 6-9 pin's good as well.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I guess perhaps
Boom.
the 6-9 could actually be better. No, it just takes the 5-8.
Tucker really would like to get 1-2-3 Sanchoku. 3-pin is in the wall to be drawn. Eat on night, yeah, just throw the 3-mon out. We're still Ishan 10 for Ricci Tom, Dora 1. But
Yeah, that's not a bad hand.
if we draw the 1-mon, we could take a headless shape and even get. Oh, that's just gonna be Tenpai.
Not the one you wanted.
1
Wait,
Do you take it
does
though?
take the Ricci.
Especially because Brian is open 3 times, so it'd be hard for him to defend. He's also dropped the 6-pin already, so probably can't use another 3-pin.
Oh, I missed the Toy shift.
Yeah, drew the 7-pin into Toy, and
That's fun.
now players have two people to defend against. They're both Tenpai. You're very certain of that. Edwin's actually Ishanten. Eric is out. 3-pin. Oh, there it is. Just as I say it. And Edwin is just a wider Ishanten. Sumo for Brian.
Big sumo for Brian.
Another Mongon.
Yeah.
Just after Eric got over 30,000, Brian knocks him back below again. And this is the game that Brian needs to confirm that spot. It's looking very strong now.
Right.
Edwin as dealer. In a reasonable spot here. Hasn't really had much to play for. It's been the Eric and Brian show all game long.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
We'll see how this hand develops. Looks like it could be Pinfu. But
Yeah, this is a little awkward. The shapes are okay for eventual Pinfu with the Shaw pair.
Edwin playing his patented style, discarding the 1-2 so, holding all these honor tiles. If he draws the ideal shapes, then he'll get a Tenpai, and if not, then well,
this is an interesting way for the hand to go.
Yeah, Chun pair when the Chun is twice cut is a little awkward, but it could still be the pair in the hand. We'll just have to wait and see.
I feel like playing the hand this way when you are not dealer and you don't have your ass isn't on the line is okay. I'm wondering about playing it this way when you are dealer and you need points.
Yeah, although I'm not sure Edwin is treating this situation as if he needs points.
Or is treating it well. Even I guess a 4th isn't like catastrophic for him, right?
But yeah, I think it is normal to keep the 7. So, and just say that if I do need to fold, I've got West Chun, and I'm a good defensive player. If I still need, if I'm still not safe after that, I can figure something out. In the end, it might actually end up being Chitoy for Edwin here.
That's what it's looking like. At least at this point, that is what he's decided the hand is, I think.
Yeah, on the right, Eric is Ishantan.
Got a big old just blob of Manzu there. Let me try to read that a little bit.
Yeah, it chips off the hard tile, so now it's easier to read Ishantan.
Oh, yeah, it's 2 completed shapes in a pair.
That's 2 Dora, too.
Okay. Yeah, so that's Ishanten, likely to end up on that Penchan.
Brian opening up for Tanyao, trying to shut this down. Tanyao Nomi. Tuck on the left. That's the Ishanten. But some awkward shapes. It really wants to find Sanchoku.
Right.
And there are one so in the wall. Wow. Ishanten for Edwin. The 7-pin is normal here because even if you draw the 2-pin or 5-pin, you can still have.
Yeah, you called it.
And there it is, Chitoy Tenpai.
There it is.
Are we going to go best Tonki?
I think so. I don't think the 8.
Oh, it's gonna come out too. So who said who said Edwin was just folding here? Not going for points. We forgot. Edwin's the Chitoy master. and picks up the 2400. Misses out on Ipatsu with no Riichi there, but it's likely that Eric would have bailed because, given his position, he can't afford to
Home.
lose more points.
I think you look at Edwin's pond and you're like, mm, not a normal hand.
Right. Well, pulling for Eric. Maybe there's a Chanta in play for him. Edwin with a good
That's
draw.
yeah.
Now, this looks more like a classic hand. Ricci, Dora 1, maybe even Pinfu if you can draw 5 Mon and then 8 Mon.
Uh, Brian's got a pretty strong like hand across the way. The Mon like the 6-8 is the weakest shape, but it's also Dora, so that has to be played around.
Yeah, and then there's that interesting question given Brian's position overall. Like, he doesn't really need points, he just needs to win the hand. Would
I
probably
would
be willing to just cut away from that shape.
I would be willing to cut it that shape
Home.
in that situation.
A very funny poem from Eric.
Oh no need. No need. Just draw into it.
Yeah, just draw the 7 Mon, and this is a beautiful Ishanten.
Not 10 pi, almost like Ishan 10 for Eric.
There was a world where that hand could actually turn
Each.
into Honitsu. Wow, just draw the 1 pin? What? That was going to be a discard later, but just draws it into
Yeah,
Tenpai.
no, you lose Pinfu, but you take your Richidora 1
Yeah, wait.
with your 1/4 weight for sure.
Oh, there's the 1. Eric will dodge it.
Sumo.
Ippatsumo, Brian!
Oh,
Wow,
Brian
it's
is on
Brian's turn in
fire.
this game. This is the 3rd Mongon.
Yeah,
And Brian,
just
56,000
basically in
points.
a row, almost just about.
Yeah, one cheap hand in the middle. No, actually, I think it was Mongon, then Eric won 1,000 points, then Mongon, and then
Edwin
Edwin won
won.
Shitoi no Mi,
Oh,
and then Mongon.
okay, so 3 out of 5.
That's pretty good. I'll take that. And we're very close to locking in Brian to promoting into A2 next season, which will be very fun to see. Now, also very fun to see will be the A2 matchup that is going to start pretty soon. But Eric, currently dealer in South 3, has been making a run, but hold that thought. I'm seeing tiles lighting up. That's Edwin on the left. Already Tempai for Richinomi. Not willing to take Richinomi. What about Richinomi with a
Yeah,
Suchi Trap?
it's early and there are other like is considering whether to do the Tadashi Ricci on the for the Tumon.
Let's not willing to declare the Ricci just yet. Maybe there will be
No.
a Karagiri Ricci later, like right here.
That
No,
would
okay, yeah.
actually be a pretty sly Katagiri Ricci, I think.
Edwin doesn't want just Richinomi here. Really wants more. There's Ipeko chance. You can also draw Dora and try to
I
make use
think
of
in a
that.
different point situation that 8-pin Katagiri would be like I don't know about standard, but it would be I think very understandable to take it.
In the meantime, this is allowing Eric some time to reach Tempai, and this is actually Tempai for
Each.
Richidora 1. We'll slam it, waiting
This
on Dora
yeah,
indicator.
it's there was a potential Itsu there, but it's late enough in the hand that I don't these indicator penchant Richis are not like the greatest though.
No, but I mean, you're hoping to apply enough pressure and maybe get lucky with a Tsumo. We do see the 3-6 Mon lining up. That's not because it will actually deal in, just because Tucker has Tempai on it.
Chi.
Brian's considering fighting a little bit for this hand.
What an awkward set of jaws for Edwin
Brian's
there.
Tempai if he wants it. No, it goes play safe. He'll continue to Mawashi though.
Right, because the 4-7 still looks live, even with the 3-5 before the Ricci.
If you can get a couple more 5s out, might feel better.
Then the 4 starts to look okay.
Okay, Edwin plays the Suji 9, now has Tanyao shipped. Could have
Yeah,
also...
I think Edwin like cutting this 9 Anko out makes sense.
Another
Good
interesting,
pawn into Tenpai for
right?
Tanyo, but I mean it's only like it's not worth anything, but
Yeah, Tucker's just shoving the door here. It actually doesn't look that like it deals into frequently.
from what I can see on the table, the Dora looks less scary than the indicator does, but maybe that's just my commentator omniscience
Right. The fact
speaking.
that the 7 so is lighting up orange might influence us a little bit.
Though some people do say it's the only tile more dangerous than the Dora itself.
Right. We actually have
So
template for Brian again, 369, but draws the 7, doesn't like the 4-7 Monsuji. Oh, wait, the 7 passed. It is actually safe.
yeah,
Maybe this.
I'm wondering about this feels just very turtley.
Yeah, maybe just missed that the 7 Mon came out. Oh, can't get back into Tempai though, and takes it.
And
Okay. Gets there. All right.
maybe it was just like, oh, I just missed it, you know.
And we'll see 3 players Tempai. Tucker will pay out, and we'll stay here on the dealer seat.
Oh, I missed Edwin drawing into one of those pairs.
Yeah, drew the 8 Mon Anko and just barely got there. Eric retains the dealership. Chundor 1 will probably be the plan here on the right.
Presumably, yeah.
Oh, that's just a
Home.
classic build your hand and see what happens. There's the Chun
Home.
call. South call for Tucker, who wants this game to end. And on the left, we've got Edwin with a Dora. Reasonable shapes as well. A lot of honor tiles in that hand, though. 2 Dora. It's
This hand it feels hard to use the 2 door because they're that 1 2 3 3.
yeah, it's unclear how it's going to be
You're
used
like,
here.
okay, it's really like a shape and a flora.
Maybe you end up
Okay.
using it as the pair in the hand.
It feels a little slow, but that may be the only way to use both of them.
Well, Tucker Tempai now for South or South Dora 1. Waiting 3-6, so. Ishanten for Eric, desperately in need of a 2, so there's only one of those left in the wall. Of course, 5-8 pin would be a welcome addition to the hand. Brian still struggling with those shapes. And now it's getting a little bit late. Your hand hasn't made much progress. It'll probably be...
Yeah, that hand doesn't really look like it's going anywhere.
If Brian knew that Tucker was Tempai for South only on 3-6 spin, that 3-6-0 would just toss the 6-0 and you win.
Honestly, yeah. Okay, Eric does find the upgrade. And 5 are... Oh no, that's not Tenpai yet. I was like, why aren't the 5s lighting up? There it is.
Now it's Tempai.
Now it's Tenpai. But this weight is... The 5s are okay, the 8s are mostly out.
Yeah, if the last 8 is drawn, it will likely come out, but... Yeah, Brian doesn't want to toss the 6-0 now because it probably deals into the... Oh, wait, no, dealer, saving this dealer. So actually, Brian does have save tiles. Save 6-0. Brian's actually Ishanten himself. Edwin draws into Tempai. Do you just slam or reach it with 2 Dora on the 4-so? It's not a good weight by any stretch of the imagination.
Does not.
And Tucker has Sumoki'd so many tiles in a row that you're assuming a Tempai over there.
Right.
Chi.
Brian will call for K10 here. Will we see another Ryukoku with 3 players Tempai? Actually, right now, all 4 players are Tempai. Oh, the 8 comes out.
No, we will not. But we will get another repeat. So
Eric,
the game goes on. Tucker continues to suffer.
Yeah, the call shifted the 8 pin over to Tucker, and Eric says, well, I will happily continue this game. I'll continue it as long as I can. This high pie is a little bit weak, but it does have a Dora on the right. That's a little bit better. North pair isn't amazing, but you've got one completed Anko, a 357 Ryankon that can incorporate the Dora, and Japan in the Pinsus. So reasonable shapes for Brian to aim for Ricci. Across the way, that hand does not inspire any sort of confidence for Tucker. On the left, that's a weird hand. I'm not sure what to make of it. How close is it to Kokushi? 7 in a pair? It's not very good. I would say Honitsu, but it's not even clear what suit that would be. So we'll just call and hold all the shapes and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that hand, but I'm sure he isn't either. So,
Oh, interesting move by Eric here, cutting the 5-mon preemptively, just setting up that Suji trap, saying, I don't think I'm going to draw the 6-mon door indicator anyway, so let me just get rid of it right now. Although
I think that makes sense.
we can see that the 6-mon is actually live in the wall. There's 3 of them.
Yeah,
I guess the other thing is, if you're going to hold the 5-mon, you have to drop something else, right? And what are you planning to
right,
drop?
and so yeah, it's a combination of I can trap something early and I want to keep this 2, 4, 6, 8 for efficiency reasons.
Still looks like it's going to be difficult for Brian to complete the hand. We could see a call into Senpai on the 3-pin, which does look reasonably strong here, given Tucker's not using Pinzu. Oh, I guess Tucker is using Pinzu.
That call is
It's a toy toy.
That is, yeah, I mean, a toy dream at least. Eric just ends up tossing into this though.
1,000 plus the 2 Homba. Kokushi had died at that point, so might as well make something else out of your hand. And we will have...
Oh, I missed the exact... Was it like basically the exact moment that Kokushi died?
I actually think it died a little bit earlier, but maybe just didn't have the opportunity to call anything until then.
I see.
Brian now, last dealer, in first place, the only player over 30,000 points, and honestly could just fold out and be perfectly happy with the game ending. But we'll see him play pretty standard right now.
I'm wondering if we even see like Brian pushing anything very forcefully here at all.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. Tucker on the right actually has a hand. It could be a monster too. There's 2 Dora and double south potential as well.
Boom.
Edwin will open up first though with a Hatsu and reasonably strong shapes. Hatsu only currently. Eric holding so many of these on tiles.
If Brian gets a whiff of where the Dora are in this hand, I do think that like Sashikomi into Edwin could be. Well, we won't know because Tucker doesn't have to call the East. Just drew them.
Yeah, Tucker not even fully committing to Onitsu. Could be Toy Toy instead.
Could be. Already an Anko and then a couple of pairs.
Boom.
Oh, there's the South. Double South Dora 3 currently. That'll be a Mongon. And Tsumo would actually put Tucker into 3rd place. It's not so easy for the... Ooh, do we call here for Tempai? Yes. So it's just going to be a Mongon. Unless the Dora comes out and we see a con.
And you can con. Absolutely. That's the easiest con anybody's ever made.
Brian holding the Mon tiles here. Has 2 of the Dealan tiles. In fact, all of the Dealan tiles are currently being held.
Oh. Yeah, you really hope for an upgrade there if you've already like given up your toy.
You'd expect to see an upgrade. Yeah. Do we call that an upgrade?
That ain't it.
Still holding out for something better. 3 Mon, 5 Mon, 6 Mon, all good draws. Even the East is a good draw. Although sadly we won't see a Rinchan.
Chi.
Well, Brian's not giving up on this hand. This is Ishan then for Sanchoku Nomi.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Edwin
It's like,
Ishan then
look,
as
if no one
well.
else is gonna win, like, I guess I'll try.
I wonder if Edwin cons for a Rinchan chance. If he draws into Tempai, con for Rinchan. I think
Maybe.
you shouldn't, but it'd be
Chi.
very fun if you did.
All right, Tenpai for Brian. Those none left in the wall for that weight.
Oh,
And given that shape, it will never be dropped. So
yeah, the only question is
no con for Edwin.
okay. Yeah, just looking for Tempai at this point. South is safe. That's not quite it. Doesn't want to drop it. Certainly. Monzo look really expensive right now.
All right, the game does not end.
Brian actually had a choice. Could have ended the game right there.
Could have, I would have.
Would have been the only player over 30,000 picking up something like 47 points. I think it would be a justifiable end to the game there, but Brian also, by allowing the game to continue, gives Eric a chance to make it over 30,000. Gives Tucker a chance to escape fourth place. And well, Eric with a very good chance to make it over 30,000. Door 3 Onko. See if you can turn. Oh, I was gonna say turn to Tanya and then pairs up the 9. So not exactly what you're looking for. It's okay. It doesn't have to be used in the
Chi.
hand. You can end up putting it later. Ishan then for Eric. Oh, Edwin's hand. That looks spicy.
It does, but still needs a couple of like choice calls or draws there to, actually be kind of locked, like loaded and ready to go.
Well, speaking of,
That draw
yeah,
is not bad.
a wider Ishanten for Eric. This all but confirms that the 9 will be used as the pair in the hand, unless he can draw 2 pin, but those are all being held. Oh, well now there's, oh, doesn't even hold the door indicator. That's a little bit surprising, but just trying to stay away.
That definitely says Sakigiri to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's kind of right. Edwin's kind of would happily use the 7 pin.
Yeah, especially with that 2 being overflow.
Right.
You're like, I got it out in time.
We see 1 pin overflow as well. Eric probably a little bit nervous about the 1 pin currently in hand. No, just lets it go. Says, I don't believe your Tempai yet. He's right. It's E-Shut
I guess not.
Each.
Wow, Brian takes a Ricci. Wow, I was not expecting to see this aggression. But
I
I mean,
wasn't either.
Each.
Brian's got points to play with. Here we go. Chase from Eric. 3-6 Mon
That's
versus
6.
4, so 6. Oh, Edwin, are you going to have to push it? Can just bail. The 1 pin, 2 pin's pretty safe. East, 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 Pei is also very safe.
He knows it's bad.
And this whole time, Tucker's been Tempai as well. All the Mon tiles look bad. Goes with a 3, but that's going to deal into Takame, Ricci, Ipeko, Dora 3. That would be Hane.
Oh, that. That
That
bad
ends the
night for
game.
yeah.
But Brian will
Good
pick
night
up.
for Brian though.
Yeah, first place plus 43.1. Doesn't end up
That's a
getting the 5
hefty
points of
win.
Puma, but yeah. That I'm almost willing to lock it in. Congratulations to Brian for a well played season. And
Yeah, absolutely.
one more game to go. One more game to get through.
Yeah, we'll
But
have to see if Brian can also be a recipient of the ladder award.
absolutely. 0 fourths this season. We'll see if he can confirm that in the final game. Eric takes the second place, plus 9.1, getting very close to that fifth overall slot. And Edwin takes negative 13 again, very safe. Now can probably play this last game very comfortably and avoid the demotion zone. That being said, there are lots of other games going on around the league. And one table I definitely wanted to watch, I had a lot of interest in, was the 8-2 table that has already started their series. They have 2 more games to go.
Let's just jump right in so we can get as much of that as possible. And I will be actually tagging out for another member of
Oh, very cool. I don't
commentary
even
crew
know who
here
that member
who
is going to
hasn't.
be.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm tagging out with Garrick.
Sweet. I
So,
haven't commentated with Garrick in a
Hello
long
there.
time.
Yeah, it's been a bit. How you guys doing?
Doing well. We've been enjoying the Mahjong tonight. Michael, thank you so much for hopping in.
yeah, no problem. Have fun, guys.
Will be a
Yeah,
blast.
we'll do.
All right, Garrick, we are looking at this 8-2 matchup. It is South 2. John is the dealer. Travis to the right. Bijan across the table. And Rachel on our left. Now, I'll have to let you take over for me because I've got some names to switch.
Yeah, sure. Rachel looking like starting off with. And we're starting off in South too. This is a game already in progress. Rachel completes an Anko of the tune. On the left. Dealer is John, currently floating a couple Yanmen, maybe in the Peiko. Hand across for Bichan looks like Pinfu, maybe Itsu. Actually, it's Ishan 10 for Itsu. And hand on the right, Travis. Looking Pinfu-esque, not too much there. A pension and a Kanchan. From what I know of the standings, I know John was at right at the promotion line and fell a little bit since then. And Beechin was trying to solidify their place up there, as Beechin pulls Tenpai for just 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku, waiting only on 6 mon.
And I suspect in some situations you would just see Orichi, but Bichen has no need to do that in his current position. Had won a couple games in the first 2 of the series to really solidify his position to promote to A2. So we'll just wait for that 6 mod to come out, or even Sumo. There are 2 in the wall.
Could take a Pinfu if they choose to switch it, but that would involve dropping a Dara. I don't think so. In the meanwhile, it does look like Dealer has decided to go for Chitoy instead, dropping a full 4, 5, 6 pin shape.
Yeah, we'll see how many of these tiles are live. Oh, well, Tempai. Enough.
Yeah, that's 10 by now.
The 9mon looks like a great weight, but actually chooses the Suji 7 pin and doesn't take the Richi here.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised that the 9 wasn't taken, and also that we didn't see a Richi.
Yeah, John is in a place where he would need to make some big points to get back into the promotion spots, right? So it's a little surprising that he didn't try and eke out the value where he could.
Right now, the 7 pin actually looks reasonably safe to you because you dropped a 9 pin very early, and then you cut a 5 and a 6 and a 4. So not only is it Suji, but it's also just, it doesn't look like you really want it.
Yeah, so this is kind of one of those odd times where reaching may make your win rate go up.
Oh no, well,
Uh-oh.
yeah, I guess that's why he waited, drew the Dora, and dodges the deal in.
Each.
And is now waiting on Dora for Chitoy Dora too.
There is exactly 1 Dora in the wall. Travis is taking a reach in. Oh no, that 1 pin's going to come out and deal into Ipatsu.
On Ipatsu. Oh, I did not notice the scores. Travis has already taken a pretty big hit so far in this game. And just claws some of that back.
Yeah, it's certainly understandable that the players that are a little lower in the standings will be fighting harder for points, and that means taking more risks usually. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times that just incentivizes losing more points. But Travis making a little comeback here in this game has the East Anko and is already Ishanten for
Yeah.
Richie Ton.
Yeah.
Kind of spicy hand on the left though. What do you?
Right. That's Dora 2 Chanta. Anyone who see me play knows I'm an odd like promoter of Chanta. But
It's
definitely it looks like a really nice hand.
it's Ishanten for Junchan
Yeah,
Ipeko
Shinchan
Door
now.
2. Okay.
Definitely want to see where that goes. In the meanwhile, other hands,
1
not looking. Oh, there's just Tempai on a Ryanmen 4/7 Mon. Wait for Arichi Ton.
And now we'll see how John chooses to play this. I mean, it feels like he might fight because again, he really wants to get a big score in this game.
Could choose to call should a 3-pin come out. I guess the issue is that like, you got to think about this one because. Oh, I didn't see that coming. That makes sense.
Yeah,
You can't take the 1-pin, 2-pin weight because you don't have a Yako at that point.
I'm not sure that I'm a huge fan of that because you're really relying on getting the third 1-pin.
And it does end up
Don't.
backfiring. Deals into the dealer 2-1, with barring.
Oh, you're right.
For,
That is 3,900. No lead off for Travis, but continues to climb and does even out the scores a little bit. John's still in the lead, but Travis, another good high pie.
yeah. I think it's already is Ishanten, I think. No, 2 Shanten. Still just waiting for a little bit, a couple more shapes.
Well, now it's
Now that's
Ishanten.
Ishanten.
Would you be willing to open up if, say, the 2-pin or the 7-pin came ahead, or just call for Tanya Nomi? Or do you want to stay closed and get more value?
It would depend on when. Like, sometime the next 2 or 3 turns, I would probably just take it and say, go quick. But, actually, that might be backwards. I may want to take it the later it goes, wanting to just end it because I don't think it'll have a chance for it to continue. But for now, I'll stay closed. But, yeah.
Yeah, I slightly prefer the 5 mon as a floater. I don't know if there's a 5, 6, 7 Sashiko here or not, but I feel like that is a decent chance. Oh, well.
I think it just fixes it.
Yeah, now there's
Actually,
Ipeko chance.
Mm-hmm.
Icha, not a whole lot going on the right. Across the table, there's the Haku call that's available, and perhaps a Dora Tanki in the future.
Oh,
whoa,
that's Tempai for doesn't take it.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't like the Shaba weight. 2-pin, 7-pin. It says there's more value to be had.
1
Well, now we are Kuri-ten, I think. Or is this a Shabo?
No, it's Shabo
Yeah.
2-pin Forso, of which you have a third one of. So this is, I guess, strictly worse than the previous.
Okay, found the different route. Kanchan 6-pin.
Kanchan 6-pin. That's fair. And there is one very noticeably lone in Beechen's hand. I don't think he'll toss it. Beechen is known to be quite. Oh, never mind.
Rachel drops it instead. Wow, Travis just knew.
Vici Tanya, so pretty much the exact same hand, just won the 300 points more.
Yeah, Kanchan gets there, and Travis might be able to escape fourth at this rate. This high pie is a lot worse.
Yeah, a lot of sad floating honors that you really just want to either pair up or drop. Does draw a connecting tile and does technically have at least a couple shapes that they can work with, but long way to go to make those work. Hand on the right. Could be 79 Sashoku. Still a little far as well. Hand across, looking like 789 Sanshoku or 678, depending on what they draw. It could be either one. Don't know yet. And hand on the left has a Dora, has a really nice shape, and a Ryanman. I could see that was probably the fastest, I would say, for now. But dealer does get a chance to pawn this and is now, we'll just call everything for a Renshon, I think.
Yeah, most likely Haku Dora 1, potentially Dora 2, or something like 345 Sanchoku.
Oh, I'm not entirely sure. I like dropping that 2-mon just because you are headless at the moment. So dropping the 2, it's ended up being fine. Now you have 2 Ryanmen. It's perfect Ishanten, so.
Yeah, if you'd gone the other way, just cut the 8 so first, we'd probably be in the same spot here.
Right.
We do have Ishanten on the left for John with Richie Tanyao. Oh,
Oh, there it is.
doesn't take it
Doesn't
though.
reach you.
There are
Waiting
some good
on-
draws to upgrade.
Mhm. Although the 5 Mon, which would make a Sanmenchan, would be Furry 10, which is always kind of sad. But
Yeah, I think John is looking for this 2-3-4 Sanchoku or Ipeko draw.
hmm.
Although now the Ipeko draw is looking a lot worse, so really just gonna aim for Sanchoku, I'm sure.
That's Tempai for the dealer. Waiting on 4-7 So. I imagine if they draw a 3 So, may want to switch into that possible 3-4-5 Sanchoku. Oh,
ドン
John deals in, and the dealer gets another 2 on hand this time. Not
Travis
And-
continues to rack up the points, now in third place, and pulls John closer and closer to the rest of the players.
Mhm.
So what can he make out of this hand? Looks like Sanchoku's available.
Sanchoku, maybe if you draw the right. Okay, I was gonna say Johnson, but now it's gone. You're just gonna take the. Oh, that's an interesting. Oh, because West is the door. You would like to pair up a door, I suppose. Maybe for Chitoy, if that's the thought. But yeah,
Kind of slow hand on the right for Bichen.
Mhm.
Very classic shapes, just a couple of awkward kanchan shapes to fill.
yeah.
Across
Hand
the team.
across, yeah. Sorry, hand across is looking not too bad. A floating forso, but everything else is a Ryanman, so you could effectively see that go pretty quickly. Fills another one right there. And on the left is essentially looks really fast. A couple complete shapes. Just need to find I think one more shape, or treat that 3-4-4-5 as 2 Ryanman. Oh yeah, that's what's going to be.
In the
In
meantime,
the meanwhile, dealer, yeah, go
Pair
ahead,
up
say
the
that.
Dora.
Exact same thing. I just noticed. So should they get there, the value will be pretty nice.
Oh, but Rachel's drawn extremely well. Now has a very wide Ishanten.
Oh yeah, possibly wait. Oh no, it fills that side first, but we'll still get a Ricci for Ricci Pinfu, waiting on 4-7 pin.
Actually, John was Tempai there, but it would be on a Tanki. And so chooses instead to cut the 8-9 Penshan and try to draw around this 3-mon for Pinfu.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Oh,
Now has a
now
wider
technically,
headless shape.
yeah,
sorry,
looking
headless
like
Kutsu.
5 or 8. Yeah, 5 or 8 could technically be the it's a Kuchiki, meaning sticky, like and anything will stick to that. Takes the say actually not safe tile. Takes the Dora. That is a Dora.
リーチ
Ooh.
Dealer's gonna chase, and this is serious value. Ricci Pinfu Dora 2, waiting for 7-mon. But a lot of those tiles are being held. All the 4s held.
Yeah.
All of the 7s held.
7. So we'll need someone to deal in, and we know that the hand across cannot deal in. So
But John's in trouble though.
yeah,
7-pin is Genbutsu to the dealer reach.
but does not look very good to the Ricci before. That's for sure.
9-pin's okay. Finds the 4 so though. 4 so Nakasuji to dealer and Genbutsu across the way.
Mm-hmm.
And John's out. Good, because the West you can't ever drop in.
Yeah.
You're holding so many of the dealer tiles.
Yeah.
So no one can sumo here. The only question is, will any of these
Oh.
players deal in?
Yeah, all the 7s and all the 4s are held. You're right. And I was about to look for that when you said that. I was like, wow. So yeah, looks like it's going to go to Ryukoku unless someone makes a blunder in folding.
And these players, these A2 players, are very good at defending when they are
Yeah,
aiming for it.
when they choose to. Yeah.
Is Beachin out of save tiles though? No, finds the Suji 7, so Genbutsu to the Ricci, Suji to Rachel, and we'll take a
Yeah.
Ryukyoku.
Third and fourth each get 1,500 points from first and second, making it even closer. And this is the 4th Honda for Travis's dealership. That's pretty nice when you're in that position.
And that's exactly what you're hoping to do from a deep 4th position. Just continue to win
Yeah.
hands, rack up the Renchon.
Yeah.
Really one Mongon away from blowing this game open.
Mm-hmm. Their hand does look actually pretty good. Maybe not like a huge amount of value to do that in one go, but could be pretty quick if they draw the right tiles. Has one Dora. Maybe able to use it if they draw a 3-mon. Hand of the right for Beachin. Not looking too bad. Couple of Ryan men and some odd floaters, but and a Penchan now. Hand across, Anko with one pin and two Dora, but looking pretty slow otherwise. Hand on the left is pretty much Ishanten with an Anko of the Yakuhai Haku. So could be some sort of Anko hand in there too.
Beach.
No, we'll just take the Ricci.
That's so sad. There's Sun Uncle chance. If you have Sun Uncle, that means Su Uncle's
Beach.
there. Oh, but we're gonna see a chase from
Yeah.
dealer.
Ooh.
It's 3 Mon versus 5-8 Mon. 5-8 should be better. There are 2 3 Mon left in the wall versus 5 of the 5-8 Mon. Statistically, John with a better chance here.
6 Mon does come out, making the 3 Mon deal in tile for dealer Suchi. Not that that will be anyone's first choice of discard, given its proximity to the Dora through 2 Mon.
If John had held out just then, would he have drawn Tenpai for Sun Uncle?
Right.
I guess
That's
if
a long time to wait.
he held the 6 Mon, it would have actually simulated Su Uncle, but
Oh,
that's besides the point.
all the other yellow tiles and then hand across means that Rachel deals in for 250 for 32, which ends up being 4,400 points, which is a lot for a 2 Han hand.
Yeah, it puts John back up to 45,000 points going into all last.
Mm-hmm. At this point, we would just want to hope maybe somehow someone else, or maybe even you, Manga and Tsumos, to knock Beachin under 30k to get that great +5, +20 Uma bonus in total. But otherwise, dealer, probably a Pinfu or pair hand. I don't know. It's not really sure at this juncture in the hand.
Pairs?
Oh, that's another pair. I think that might be 7 Chitoy. Hand on the right, Great Shape and Mon, and another Ryanman, so it could be pretty quick. May depend on what they draw also. They would love the Dora draw with that 7-pin. John across, kind of odd shapes, lots of Kanchans. Definitely need some help. Could also be pairs as well. Or just Tanya, we could see. And hand on the left. Has a floating Dora, but looks very much just Tanyao with the 3-4-5 and just kind of maybe even a 5-6-7 Sanchoku should they get there. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it's Kutsuki.
More 3-4-5. Yeah, Kutsuki Shanten though. It's very fast.
That sticky 7-pin, or you'd love to attach a 6-pin onto it.
Yeah, right. Dealer has ended up getting 5 pairs now. So Ishanten for Chitoy.
No, that's not the
And
Tenpai we wanted.
No, not really. Like I may be scared to reach this just because your position in the league right now is just you don't really need to take much risk. So why bother? Ooh, that is Tenpai for Travis on a 5-Mon 3-so. For
yes.
Tanya Nomi.
Yeah, that was the Tenpai I was referring to. It's sad that you have to drop the Dora, and it doesn't have anything outside of Tanya.
Yeah. So I wonder, like, are you supposed to take that? Because if you get this win, do you really, with those 1,000 points give, you really want to get that, 8,000 to get you above 30k. You may not ever take a win with this and just decide, okay, I'll.
That 3-Mon was interesting. There were some worlds where you shift to 3-4-5 Sanchoku.
Right, 3-4-5 Sanchoku, yeah.
Beach.
Says, it doesn't see it says, no, I don't want the weight on the Kanchan. In the meanwhile, though, Rachel has reached.
Rachel will take the weight on the Kanchan. 7-pin Dora.
7-pin Dora, exactly. For Reach Tanya Dora.
Beachin immediately draws the Dora, and that's a nope.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need this hand anymore. I'm happy to fold out. And because he's a pair hand, may end up getting back into it if they draw a bunch of other pairs, like draw 2-so, 5-so.
But notably, if Rachel Sumo, so Richi Sumo Tanya Dora Mangan, that will be enough to throw Beachin below 30,000.
Oh.
So John will actually net 3,000 points as a result of that.
Yeah. Despite losing 2,000 of the sumo, yeah.
Look at the 5,000 Uma bonus. So John's actually rooting for a Sumo right now.
Right. Still two Dora in the wall, so.
Oh, Beachin.
Oh.
Every time we talk about Dora, Beachin draws it. And honestly, Beachin might fight for Chitoy Dora too if he gets Tenpai.
Chitoy Dora, yeah, I'm wondering. Oh. finally
Travis.
draws an upgrade for Rishi Tanya Pinfu, waiting on 4-7 Mon.
There's one tile in the wall for this wait versus one tile for Rachel. Who will get there? Will Beechen find Tempai?
No, I don't think so.
Not
No,
after this
that's it.
draw. That is the last
Yeah.
one. Can Rachel survive Haite?
Can Rachel draw the high tay? No.
No.
After all that, yet again, third and fourth place get 1,500 points off of first, second, and we just get a little bit closer, but that does end the game. We
John
have John and
taking
yeah, go ahead.
plus 31.3 for first place. Will climb closer to that promotion zone. Beechen takes a positive 7.2, only furthering that position in. Well, actually moves into second place overall. Rachel getting a little bit closer to that demotion zone, needs to be a little bit careful, but still just has to get through one more game safely. And John, I
Yeah.
mean, Dustin has 4 games to play. Dustin is at the table with Peter as well, so there's a good chance one of those players goes up and one of them goes down. So John might actually have a real shot at getting a promotion here.
If John gets like a positive 25 or 20 in the last game that they have, and I assume they're playing today, that put him in prime position to take advantage of either Peter or Dustin falling in that table. But not to mention, though, Harrison is also there, I believe, right? Harrison can also jump John in that case, too. It's going to be a lot of fun. That table's going to be actually fun.
I believe they have scheduled their series. It will be Monday night.
Oh.
Yeah, 4 p.m. Pacific. And typically, tables with Dustin go all 4. So I would love to watch that series and see what goes down there.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there are a couple tables in A2 that I really want to see, this being one of them. And that Dustin, Harrison, Riley, Joshua table looks so exciting. I would love to see that one as well. We can see in the overall picture that they are going to be playing their game. It is going to start in about a minute.
Yeah.
So I've got a second.
So apparently, Peter is not at Dustin's table. I think it was a different.
Is that the case?
Yeah.
Okay, then who is the 4th player at that table?
You just said it, right? I thought that was Dustin, Harrison. I don't actually know. Never mind.
Yeah, I think I put Peter on that table.
Yeah.
Let me take a peek. Dustin, Harrison. Oh, Riley. Riley's that player.
Yeah.
Okay, so Peter's not at that table. That means that we might not have that situation that I presented before. It's still going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Who's Peter playing then? That must be the Aldwin.
One. I think Will. Is it Will? Yeah, it must be, right?
Oh, okay. Is that the Will? I know Aldwin's with Steve and. Oh, maybe it's Steve and Peter. We'll have to check the schedule again.
Oh my! In the meanwhile, Dealer's Hand is starting. We're starting off already, and is looking pretty good. Anko with 5 mon and a bunch of nice shapes. Could be fast. Doesn't matter because Beechin has a bazillion honors.
What is this? What is this? This is Chanta. Yakuhai Honitsu.
Unfortunately, John cannot feed the last honor there because he already has 2.
Rachel's just Tempai.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she's Tempai 5-8 mon.
What is going on?
I mean, I guess when the player to your left pulls all these tiles, you get extra draws, so
yeah,
you are going to get to Tempai faster than the other players, but okay, is she waiting for Sanako here?
Very possibly. I don't even know. That was insane. This is just Tanya, right? Okay, so I guess I'm choosing not to take the Tanya. Maybe she's afraid of dealing into the Anka on the left.
Daisangan or Tsuiso, right.
Yeah.
This is a slightly wider weight. We'll take it.
6-9 mon instead. Hey, someone got the pawn back.
And Beechin's probably feeling rewarded for that, although here comes the South.
Yeah. Oh my god, is that Tenpai as well? No, not just
Ishanten.
yet. Yeah.
How good are these weights in the wall? 5-8.
Oh
Oh
no,
no.
that has to deal in, right? Maybe you think you should stepping out at 22
No.
and deciding no. Let's
Hey,
not. Oh,
here's the Yasume.
oh, true.
Yasume
Yeah, the
Mangan.
Yasume Mangan instead of Mangan, I suppose. 400 instead of 5. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah.
Yeah,
John,
Bichen
listen.
has just absolutely dominated this game. That hand though was just gifted a
Shenanigans.
Mangan.
Yeah, absolute shenanigans. Dealer's hand, not looking too bad. Some okay shapes, and fills a really nice Kanchan and gets closer. Hand on the right, looking a little possibly Honitsu, possibly just the regular Pinfu hand. Uh, could accept a Dora. Hand across, oh, right, just fill the Kanchan right there. Has two Yakai.
Boom.
Of course. Why would Beaton not have two Yakai pairs to call?
I'm just surprised he doesn't have 3.
uh,
The left
and on the
Rachel.
left, yeah, Kanchan and pretty close actually. And Ryankan could be pretty fast, but I think may fall behind too, namely the hand across for Bicha.
Johnny Shanten. I mean, as dealer might just take a Richinomi here, even if it's a Shabo. I think John
Right.
likes
Boom.
Shabo.
Right. I do well. There's that second Yakai call for Beechin.
Right into
Now
Tenpai.
Tenpai. Mm-hmm.
5 tiles remaining for this weight. 4-7 so for Chuhan.
Yeah. I feel like in Beechin's base, you just take it. And you're like, okay, cool. Let's move the game on fast. Let's go.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That does not fit.
Boom.
Yep. Travis wins. Travis loses 2,000 to this quick 2 Yakai hand.
The player that we're going to be watching most closely in this game is probably Rachel and John. Rachel to avoid the demotion, doing a good job so far, and John to move into promotion slot.
Yeah.
Had that unfortunate deal in early, but of course there wasn't much you could do about that situation. Micha just had an insane start. Maybe John could come back with this hand.
It would be interesting. Oh, could be, yeah. It could be Junshan, Sanshoku, maybe, or just Junshan.
Just 2 Dora, so you really hope you just draw an Onko.
That does help. Yeah, that makes sense. I did not catch that. Bichen on the right looks just like Honitsu, like a plain old Honitsu push. Possibly Chinitsu if you don't never pair up one of those honors. Dealer's hand, not looking too great compared to the others. Does choose to drop a pair of one mon, maybe choosing to go for Tanyao. And in the meanwhile, John gets a third Dora. So now this is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's the Onko that we were looking for. And you have all the blocks you need. Oh, and they only get better. All right, very strong for John now.
I think 2 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diamond +1.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I was a little surprised that Travis not cut the 1-mon pair. That makes sense if you were forcing Tanya, but then didn't call the 7-pin. That felt like that would be a great tile to improve your shapes.
Oh.
But we do know that Travis tends to play a more closed game. It has only a 14% call rate, which all the players at this table have a very low call percentage. Like you see a lot of players around 30 to even 40%, and none of these players are at 30% even. Rachel's the closest at 29.5.
Yeah, so Rachel actually fills an Anko and is now actually Ishanten technically, yeah, for Ipeiko possibly. And meanwhile, Bishan has cutting the 2, 3.
John's got a hard read on these ones, so actually chooses to discard away from the Yamen shape, holding the 3-5-5 instead.
Mm-hmm. And noting,
wow,
what a great read! Beechin ends up drawing all 4 ones though.
Alert! Rachel Suanko Ishanten.
Oh, jeez.
How good are the weights in the wall? 4-pin, 1 left.
Oh, that's Tenpai though.
He'll take the Shabo. Oh, Suji's Shabo is usually not very strong, but might be able to pull it out in this case. Beechen's holding that 6-mon because it looks bad to John, not because it deals with
Yeah.
Travis, most likely.
Yeah, that's kind of insane and so unfortunate.
The 5-8 is surprisingly strong, and there's the 8 so.
Oh, no! That's gonna be huge.
Ricci Dora 3, that is the hand John was looking for.
Yeah.
Faith in the Shabo waits rewarded.
Mm-hmm. Puts him right back to that 30,000. Lose a Mongon, gain a Mongon.
All right. Good result for John. Beechen now dealer at 40,000 points.
Yeah. There's a couple of pairs. Looking maybe just probably not even Pinfu. Maybe just the Sanshoku somewhere that has not been decided yet. Hard to say. Hand on the right has a nice 9. Just kidding. I was about to say has a nice shape for the 8, 9, and 9, but chooses not to take it. Anko of 9-mon and a pair of the West may just go Richinomi is Ishanten for it, so that's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Hand across has an Anko of the Yakuhai East, so that's pretty nice.
Home.
It just opens up for, well, probably East only.
Mm-hmm. And Travis is Ishanten on the left with a Penchon and a Dianmen.
Oh, just fill the Penchon first. The
Eats.
Diamond wait, Ricci Dora 1.
Yeah, waiting on 6-9-mon, and the 6 is super alone. Although, again, it's Beechen, you don't expect it to come out from him.
Yeah, again, Beechen the player with the oh, Rachel's gonna chase here.
Waiting on 1-4 pin.
And that was probably Beechen's next cut, so now he might have to do like 8 pin instead. One mon safe for now.
Mm-hmm. And this is Tenpai as well. On 5-mon 4 so.
Yeah, instead of 3-6, choosing the Shabo again.
Because the 4-mon was also completely safe, as opposed to the very dangerous 5-mon.
Right. And also, if players knew you were Tenpai, Forso is not CD trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is they probably don't know that you're Tenpai.
Yeah.
Sumo.
Wow.
It gets it anyway.
All right, John is converting me one Shabo weight at a time. Next time I get Tenpai, I'm going to intentionally choose Shampoo. Because apparently it just wins.
3,500 point 1 Han win is pretty nice.
Yeah, grabbing away 2 Ricci sticks there.
Mm-hmm.
We move into the South rounds. This has been a very fast game.
Yeah. Dealer's hand. Oh, that's a lot of problems. And fills a shape, but you've got a lot of other things to fix as well. Hand on the right. Probably Pinfu. Maybe 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku actually. Although probably maybe not. We'll see what ends up happening. Hand across. Ooh, could be Itsu in Sozu. Maybe just Pinfu. We'll see. Has a couple floaters that aren't very good, so maybe not. And hand on the left. Pairs locked in. Could accept the Dora. Probably just Pinfu as well. Oh, fills the Kanchan. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, John on the right has just drawn incredibly well. Anko of 9-mon, Anko of 2 pin.
And 2 Ryanmen to go with it. It's actually just Ishanten. If they draw a 5-mon, oh my goodness, what is going on?
It drops an overlapping diamond shape, so planning on another Shabo weight? Surely John doesn't draw another Dora here, like for
Dora, right. Like I just realized that's Dora.
No! Dama for Suanko. This is
It's already
Sananko
Sananko,
Dora
right?
3,
Yeah.
so we'll probably take a roll, but there's a Suanko chance here.
What in the world? What in the world?
I'm telling you, John is converting me. I'm gonna take my pairs. Forget sequences.
How many weights are left in the wall for this Ryanman, though? We got
3
weights
left.
out and
Yeah.
3 left.
Oh, Rachel's got to drop it here.
Oh,
Don't.
that's big.
Surprise, Sananko. Who would expect
Dora
that?
3. John gets another Mongon, just kind of out of nowhere again. And holy cow.
John's making a case for promotion here. If the game were to
Yeah.
end right now, how much would this be? Plus 26.5?
I'd be putting really close to that line if anyone falls out.
Yeah, would actually be ahead of Dustin at the time being. Of course, Dustin and Peter, 4 games to play.
Home.
Oh, did I? I must have checked it a little bit, but before it updated, before that plus 30 before from last game. That's actually a lot closer than I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. And John, as dealer, has the Chun pair, Adora acceptance as well, but it's Rachel to open up first with the South.
Yeah, definitely wants to go fast. Says, I'm tired of this. I don't want you to have a dealership. What have you done to me? I'm calling to open. And that's sad because Rachel actually just lost her last dealership with that hand, just out of nowhere. So you're kind of like, oh, well, what do I do now?
And for the time
Kind of
being, avoid fourth. Like,
yeah,
even a third
right.
place is acceptable.
Because you are in that like limbo of could fall into emotion with other people's.
Oh,
This
past
is the
them
last
both.
chance for John. Oh,
What a
interesting.
surprise.
Knowing John, he's not at all opposed to just dropping them if he needs to. So
That's
I'm
true,
not,
yeah.
I'm not super surprised. Yeah,
We've seen that a lot from John over the course of multiple ARML seasons.
we have a closed Ipeco for Travis and just drew Adora to make a Adora accepting 1-3 shape. So if they draw Tepai, if they draw Tepai, could just Dama. Not sure why, but could, I suppose.
Right? Beach and also Ishantan really looking for the 6-pin with 2 Dora. Oh, wow!
And gets it.
Yeah, Dama here. No Yaku.
Yeah, no Yaku. Only has one, as we can see, only has one left in the wall, so kind of unfortunate.
Could take the 8-pin instead. Yeah, does do so.
Yeah, 8-pin for now and hoping to upgrade again.
Rachel in the time will call down for a Tonki Wade on the Tuso.
John.
Travis couldn't cheat it, but draws the 2-pin instead. Takes the Ricci with a Diamond Wade. Ricci.
6-9 pin.
Oh, nice deal to Takame. Chanta. Ricci Putz Pifu Chanta Ipeco Dora.
Wow.
Whoa! No, Ura would have been a Baimon.
What just happened?
All of a sudden,
cow.
Travis is up there.
And the worst part is now Rachel, you haven't got nothing wrong, is in fourth.
Right? Oh my goodness. And the only thing Rachel has done is deal into a Dama-ten Mangan.
Yeah. Yeah, Sanako, Dora, very
insanely early Dama Mangan, yeah. Oh goodness, and now Travis is seeking a dealer run here.
I feel like this is about what happened last game, where Travis just went on a run.
That's right.
Like, yeah.
John was at 40,000 points. Travis was in fourth place, won a couple hands, made a good showing of things. And John ended up taking the first place there. We'll see if the same thing happens this time.
You're right. The Travis's hand as dealer actually looking overblocked, but lots and lots of Ryanmen. Bishan has a pair of Chun. I imagine at this point we just want to call it and say, I'd like to get out of this game, please. Hand across for Rachel. I see a Penchon, and that always makes me sad. Does have one floating Dora, but could be 789 Sanshoku now. That's not too bad. And John on the left. Probably, I'm assuming looking for an Itsu there.
Yeah, just Ishanten looking for 6-mon and 7-mon, although 3-mon will also get Tempai.
Yeah. And 7-mon.
Rachel sacrifices the Dora here, because I can't afford to keep this any longer. There's way too many shapes in that. The hand ends up cutting the penchant as a result.
Yeah.
I'm sure, Garrick, you're very happy to see that.
Of course.
Bye-bye, penchant.
Yeah.
John realizes the South has just died, so no longer useful as anything other than a pair in the hand.
Another Penchant just died.
Oh! Takame draw there.
Oh, Tempai now on 6-mon, 3-mon. 6-mon being...
6-mon is the Takame draw.
Yeah, 6, yeah.
Itsu potential, but currently Dama Pinfu. And John could justify taking a Ricci here, but doesn't want to get himself into any trouble.
Travis said, nope, I'm running out of time. Time to open for Tanyo.
The 6 can be held, but Rachel drops it, setting up a branch for Suji Trap that will deal into Pinfu Itsu. Another Dama from John.
Oh, that's so tough.
And we go into all last, a critical all last.
Home.
Yeah, Beachin starting with a pair of Chun and an Anko of 7, so that may be treated as a pair for the 7-7-7-8. Looking to be pretty cheap but fast. Rachel on the right. I don't know. I mean, what can you do at this point? I feel like you have to like greed for Ruiso or something. But no, it's not. Not that bad of a situation, I suppose. But it would be funny. Does fill of Yanmen to maybe go for Pinfu as well, but there's too many pairs. Hand across is already open for Yakuhai. That's John.
Ishanten.
Yeah, Ishanten for West only.
Oh, make that
Phil's.
Senpai. Wow.
Yeah,
These
waiting on
draws for
3-6
John have
on.
been insane.
Yeah, really timely too. It's like right as we're talking about it. And Travis on the right, left. That's the direction.
Sumo.
It doesn't matter.
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
And that
John
sumo
Sumos.
is not enough to drop Travis below. So John will take the plus 15 Uma here for a positive 31.5. Travis, the second place, plus 5.3.
Wow.
Beach negative 8.2. Rachel negative 20.6. What a finish for John. Back-to-back first places. And we're going to check the standings for the final time for this
big.
table. He's going to jump into 5th place, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
So the positions up at the top becoming a little bit more clear. Beachen almost guaranteed a promotion slot. John, let's just wait and see. He has to wait for Peter and Dustin to play. Peter needs to, not lose 2.5 points, and Dustin needs to
gain 2.7 points. Wow.
It is so close.
So close. Of course, this is always barring, like, there may always be changes in the number of promotions or anything like that. So it's always going to be.
Right.
You may get surprised by an extra promotion slot, and all of this, all of this thinking may be for nothing. It's like, oh, look, it's lower than I thought. Great. And everyone's happy. Great.
But as of right now, it seems very unlikely that A2 will get a bonus promotion slot.
Right.
Just out of the information that we had at the start of the season. Now, certainly that's changed in recent times. We haven't got any exact updates. So currently we're working under the guess that, they're just, is it going to be one? And so everyone's going to be aiming for that 5th slot, and they might be pleasantly surprised.
Yep.
Okay, well, it looks like there's still a game going on. So might as well hop in there, get a little bit of bonus action. Sure. This was a very fast game.
Right, that was so quick. That felt like 25 minutes?
It was 19 minutes.
17, it was 17:43.
Does that make the fastest list then?
I don't think so. Let's take a look.
Kind of close. I know the fastest
by 6 seconds. 17:37 is the 5th fastest game.
Someone needed to hit okay faster. Yeah, what a speedy finish for them.
Yeah. Ooh.
Reach.
Oh no, I fear for an Ipatsu Dylan.
right as you said it, there it goes. Yeah.
Almost Chanta as well.
Ooh, that's a dealer Mongon.
Yeah, this is Isabella, who is actually playing. She played a series that we saw earlier with Kevin and Charlie and others at the table, and now she's playing a second series with.
That's a lot of mahjong.
Yeah, Kayla on the right. I think that's ID across the table, and Jay on the left.
Yeah. So is this B1?
This is B2, I believe.
B2.
In a second, I'll have the names replaced.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Dealer's hand looking pretty callable with the Hatsu. Has a Penchan though, unfortunately. Hand on the right for, I believe, Kayla as a complete shapes, but honestly, another Penchan may be slow, especially to the open Dora 3 hand. Yakuhai Dora 3.
Whoa.
Tenpai waiting on 7-mon.
Whoa.
Just suddenly.
Okay, that's a fast Tenpai.
That was fast. Yeah. 3 of them are in the hands of the other people, and they all look pretty well integrated, so it may be tough to win, but who knows at this point.
Yeah, I mean, You could consider, from Jay's perspective, because it was such an early tempai, to not even take it. Just cut the penchant and try to draw
Yeah,
another
around that
shape.
6 pin that I assume came out. But
リーチ
oh, Irie reaches into the open Mongon
You could
for
hold this
reach.
and wait
Why
on
not?
Genbutsu 8mon.
Ooh, sneaky.
The fact that it's not going to come out soon means it's probably in the wall.
Right.
Oh, the
Oh,
5
no.
pin!
ドン
Deals into Riichi Pinfu
Uda.
for 3,900. And that's unfortunate because you had a pretty good hand there.
Yeah.
And that makes this fight for last in South 3 really, really close. 25-6, 26-1. And even second place is not all that far ahead with 29-1.
Currently, Kayla in the lead here. Also doing well in the overall standings.
Boom.
Third place, ID also up there. We seem to have a pretty good spread of people here. Jay at plus 76.5, trying to make his way into the promotion zone.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be a close race.
Yeah. Dealer's hand looking pretty quick if they can get this south for Yakuhai and repeat. But the hand across the way is just open for Tuhan, Honisu double Yakuhai for manga already. So that's actually pretty nasty. Hand on the right, Friary looking pretty slow compared to that. Probably just Pinfu, I imagine. Ishanten for... No, not Ishanten just yet. Dianshanten. And hand on the left... I don't know. It's a hand, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe you almost want to have that 8-9 pen check back and go for like Chanta.
And Chanta, yeah.
But at the same time, do you really want that? Is that really what you want to be going for?
I don't know. Not really. Oh, that's another Pinzu. It's kind of an awkward one. Does make two Kanchan, but it's not bad.
Yeah, you'll take anything if you're Jay here.
Yeah. Any small upgrade is an upgrade nonetheless, because you already have the value, as you know.
Whereas Kayla sitting here at Ishanten for Richinomi.
Mhm.
Maybe
Boom.
call this out here and have a very wide... Oh, actually chooses to discard the 4-mon. Locking in the 3-mon as the pair in the hand.
Right. Cutting the 4-2. That makes sense. The hand on the right for Irie, I believe, is actually Ishanten for... what do you call that? Sanshoku. The 678 Sanshoku.
Yeah. Depending on how the shape is
Yeah.
drawn.
Right.
Of course, Kayla also tempai on 6-9 mon, 6-9 pin.
That's
リーチ
Tempai for Riichi Pinfu possible Tanya.
And a
Well,
Dora
Sanmenchan.
could be a
Oh,
big
yeah.
hand. It's Suji, so it's justifiable to push this.
Scary, but it is Tsuji. Dealer, but is also fighting for that Tempai 6-9 pin.
If 9 pickups as a double road instead. Sumo for ID. No Tanya here, but no Uda either. That still will put ID over 30,000 and very close to first place. It's going to be a close race between these two in all last.
All last, yeah. That's exciting. Dealer's hand, not looking too bad. Does need a couple more shapes, but that has a couple complete shapes in Sozu. Jozadora definitely would want to use that, but there are already 2 across the way, so that's going to be rough. Hand on the right, shapes aren't so good, and have a couple floating terminals. Definitely needs help there. Hand across the way, the one that's a little scary, has 2 Dora looking to be called, and a couple nice shapes. Probably the fastest, barring anything really fast from Kayla. Yeah, not that good. A couple complete shapes in Beyondman, but has Nipeiko, confirmed Nipeiko now, so that's pretty nice. With the 234 Ipeiko and Sosu.
Right. I'm kind of looking for a pair right now. Of course, you can extend off of that Ipeiko, draw 1 so, or even another 4 so.
Yeah, another 4 so.
Oh, 4 pin would have been a nice pair. Of course, you can't predict that you're going to draw another one immediately. The big question...
And across the way is actually now Ishanten, hoping to pair up, obviously, or Anko up one of the honors.
Yeah, Isabella makes a shift here. because there's a chance that she can work her way into 678 Sanchoku on top of everything else. And a big
Mhm.
question for Aida is going to be how long do we hold this Haku?
Yeah, or even oh, Kayla draws the 4-so to get to lock in a pair, but then drops the 1-so to keep the floating 7-so, and does not like the that shape.
Yeah, two thoughts here. It could be a Tanya Force, so just try to make sure that Ipeco is kept in
It's
hand,
locked in.
right?
Yeah,
Because
that
if you
does make
use the
yeah,
Force
and
as the pair, you do lose the Ipeco.
right,
That
that
is
does make sense.
very a very greedy play.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Oh wow,
oh,
eight so
fills it
fill.
though.
Is there any way it's Sancho? I don't think so with these shapes.
Yeah, you'd have to. Well, you could. Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you'd have to cut a lot. Maybe
You
if you drew another 2 or 3 or 4.
right. You have to draw an Anko and then cut a pair. At that point,
Mhm.
you might as well just keep the Ipeco and have your headless shape, just like this.
1
There it is.
She's
Okay.
even going to Ricci with the newly Suji trapped 8-Bon. Ricci, Ipeco.
Might come out Ipatu
Boom.
from Jay because he might want to fight this.
Doesn't
Does
drop it just yet.
Not yet. Going for Tanya first, so that makes sense.
Does ID want to open up for Tanya too?
That would involve dropping this Dara. I don't think you can drop the Dara into this.
It's definitely very risky yet. Chooses against that and will bail with the 5 pin.
Yeah.
ID can still hope for first place.
Oh, that's Tenpai Sanshoku waiting
One
on a once cut north and a Dora.
north, one door in the wall. Very scary for Kayla here. But 8-Mon is Gembutsu. If Jay folds into this, it's Suji and Gembutsu. Might be his safest tile at some point.
The north
Sumo.
may just come. Oh!
Sumo for Kayla will actually end the game. What a scary hand.
What a timely Tsumo.
Yeah, Isabella was primed to... Could she have taken first place there?
Reach Tsumo Dora 3, we'll say.
Haku
And
Sanshoku could have been a Baimon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that does get him to first place.
She definitely
If it
could have
happened that
taken
way.
first place. Wow.
Jeez.
Kayla will take it instead, plus 26.6. ID will take the second, positive 7.3. Both of them continue to advance to the standings. Jay didn't get to do a whole lot in this game, negative 11.7 third. Isabella right behind, negative 22.2 fourth. Still pretty safe in terms of where the demotion zone is. And Jay will have a little bit more ground to make up in order to aim for the promotions.
It looks to be probably the last game of this set, considering one of them is at 24 and a 24. So I think this must have been an older game that just finished, and now we are kind of up to date for like the most recent table because.
Yep, looks like it.
Well, there is someone at 25. I don't know what that means, but that's okay.
I think the B2 had there was a glitch with the bot collecting scores, and one of the games got counted twice. So I think that's Jay's actually at 20 instead of 21, and then somebody at 25 should actually be at 24.
That would make sense, right? Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Kayla and ID right up there at the top. They both will have one more series to play, and we'll try to catch as many of those games as we can. I actually think Kayla's playing tomorrow night. And then for Jace, also, I believe 4 games to play. Not 100% sure, but very likely 4 more games to play. And we'll see if he can make his run for promotion Armel. I do want to point out, Jay, regardless of what happens in Armel, is pretty much a lock to be a team member for the USA contingent to the IORMC, the International Online Reaching Mahjong Competition. Jay had an incredible run on the first qualifying session and had an almost equally impressive run in the second day, and so is almost a lock to be a part of the team. So congratulations to Jay for that excellent showing. Best of luck in the international competition, and can't wait to see who fills out the rest of the team. I know I won't be one of those members, but perhaps that will give me the time to provide commentary if that's allowed.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I would definitely love that opportunity. That being said, I think that's it in terms of games. We are all done for the night. There were a bunch of different tables. A lot of action that we didn't get to see, but all those games are on our website. All the results from the different divisions. That website being AmericanRicci.org, of course. If you are interested in the fall season, you have 24 hours approximately to register for the fall. The deadline is September 18th at, I believe, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So, just over 24 hours to get that in.
Y'all
And
should join. It's a lot of fun.
yeah, of course, the requirements are that you are a U.S. citizen or resident, and that you have the ability to schedule games with three other players every 2 weeks that you have to play for Hanchan. And you have to work your schedule around other schedules. That aside, if you can meet those requirements, definitely join. It is an absolute blast, and I would love to commentate your games. And we will be looking forward to doing more commentary next week, starting Monday. In fact, tomorrow night, there are some games that A2 game that we previewed with Dustin, Harrison, Riley, and Joshua. We've got Kayla, Michael, Alec, and Ryan are scheduled to play that day. And I wonder if there are any new games that popped in over the weekend. No, it looks like just those two games, but there are some very pivotal games, some chances at promotion to be taken, and quite possible that they'll be playing all four in those series. Tuesday night, there's some two A1 tables playing, as well as a B1 and B3. I don't know if we have a group scheduled to cast that. I know you're one of the people
I'm
who's
one of the people
playing.
playing, so that's going to be fun.
Best of luck to you, and of course,
Thank you.
I cannot wait to see the results from that. And then we'll have our regularly scheduled Wednesday broadcast on the 20th. There are currently 6 different tables scheduled to play, including the C1 promotion playoffs. They might even be playing all 4 games of the series. I'll double check that, of course, before the day of. But congratulations to Garrett, Tomas, Eric, and Tyler for qualifying to the C1 promotion playoffs. I believe the top 2 will advance to B3 next season. And there are games scheduled for every single day throughout the remainder of the week, so you definitely want to stay tuned. Be sure to be following our Twitch and our Twitter to know when we will go live. And of course, if you enjoyed this broadcast and would like to see others like it, all of our former casts are on the YouTube channel. If you miss a cast and would like to see a recap, those will all be on youtube.com/@AmericanRicci, or you could follow the tiny URL that's on the screen, tinyurl.com/ARMLYT. Well, that being said, thanks to Michael earlier tonight for sharing in the commentary. Thanks to you, Garrick, for hopping in as well. It was a lot of fun going over hands with you. And I can't wait to see the results of tomorrow.
Yep. Everything at Session 6 is always really high stakes and really a lot of fun to watch and think about what could happen. So definitely a lot of fun. Definitely tune in to whenever we have our streams, because it's going to be really hype.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and see you all in the next stream.